Hello everyone! Let's see if everything is working. Can you all hear me? I'm so sorry for being a little bit late. I hope you all can hear me. Yeah, you can hear me! I'm gonna turn on microphone feedback. Let me know if you start hearing an echo. I'm gonna turn on... I wonder if this will help a little bit. No, this is not going to help. I'll just keep one earphone out. Yes! Hello everyone! Welcome to the computer lab. Welcome Siki, welcome I Got Bored Sama, welcome the Grand Shark Sama. Thank you so much for being here on this Wednesday night. I hope you all have been doing well. I hope that I don't mess with my earphones. I got some new earphones, which I'll talk about in a little bit. They're a little janky, so my apologies if I end up restarting the background music a lot. But yes, thank you so much everyone for being here. Thank you for coming to my computer lab. Tonight we're gonna do just a quick little LeetCode before Offkai Expo, but I do have some, you know, fun stuff coming up this weekend. Maf-sama, o kaeri nasai mase, go shujin sama. Welcome everyone. But yes, I will welcome you all home, open up LeetCode, and start my Yap Fest for the night. So if anybody is watching in the audience, you're probably all old-timers, but in case there's anyone new, my name is Maid Midori. I am your personal coding maid tutor. I'm here to teach you all about TypeScript, algorithms, programming, and all kinds of fun stuff. And before we get into it, I'm gonna welcome everyone home to the stream. So, o kaeri nasai mase, go shujin sama. Welcome to the computer lab. Yay! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you! And as always, let me know if the sound is a little too loud, if the background music is too loud, if I'm too quiet or anything like that. Just let me know. But yes, I'm gonna go over to our LeetCodes. We just finished up with mountain arrays last week, and this week I don't think we're gonna have time to completely finish, but we will make it through some of these, hopefully. We're gonna work on in-place operations today. We already did some of that in previous weeks, but I guess we'll be focusing on it a little bit more and hopefully learning some tips and tricks. Tips and tricks to make our in-place operations when needed. Siki-sama is asking, how do I invert a binary tree? I'm sure we'll get to that problem at some point. We should learn how to do it in Apple. Does Apple even have trees? I mean, I guess you can definitely represent a tree as an array, right? I think you can. I Got Bored Sama says that he worked through the TypeScript tutorial I sent him. Oh, how was it? How was it? Yeah, I Got Bored Sama was asking me if there are any good TypeScript tutorials out there, and I sent him along to the Codecademy. Codecademy had a free TypeScript lesson, a free TypeScript tutorial, and I've never done their TypeScript tutorial, but I did use Codecademy way back in the day when I was learning Ruby on Rails. I went through their Ruby on Rails tutorial, and it was very helpful, because they do like the split screen style where they have like the tutorial on one side and then they have a code editor on the other, and it'll like grade your code as you go. This was even before like LLMs, so they didn't even have like an LLM grading or anything. They just, you know, has some tests set up to see if your code works. So yeah, highly recommend them. I hope they're still good if I'm recommending them, because to be honest, I haven't used Codecademy in quite a while. Maybe someday when we're kind of bored of LeetCodes, maybe I'll start doing Code Academy streams where I go through some of their lessons together. That could be fun. So anyways, Howling AF, okaeri nasai mase, go shujin sama, welcome to the computer lab, welcome back, thank you so much for joining me again. So happy to see some familiar faces tonight. Fishing Enthusiast 222, everything is an array. I agree wholeheartedly. Well, if you're using APL, then yes, everything is an array in APL. I got bored. Sama says it was good. The free tier limits how many projects you can do, but all the information is still there. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah. So if you pay more, then they'll give you some more examples to do, I suppose. That's good. All right. How is everyone tonight? How is everyone? Have you all worked on anything exciting? Have you learned something new? Tell me something you learned since the last stream. I got bored. Sama will no longer black out whenever he's reading TypeScript code and see, let's see, I'm not sure if this is showing up in the Twitch chat, but for some reason your text is really confusing my chat box. But T, probably like a bracket T, right? Yeah, for generics. Oh, cool. So they did teach you about generic typing? That's good. That's a little advanced for like beginner TypeScript, so I'm a little surprised that you got that far. That's awesome. Is it APL time today? Well, I'm gonna start off in TypeScript, but you know what to do. If you can collect enough channel points, you can always turn it in and force me to program in APL or Uiwa or anything else that you would like. Granted, if you choose APL, Uiwa, or something else that I haven't used a lot, then we are going to get through fewer problems, because I do have a bit of a harder stop tonight. Probably only go until like 10:30 or so, because yes, this weekend is Offkai Expo, which I'm sure I'll be yapping about throughout the next 2 hours or so. But yeah, we have Offkai Expo tomorrow. I'm gonna be there setting up for the Maid Cafe there. So yeah, I've got friends in from out of town that I am hosting, and I got all kinds of stuff on my plate this weekend. So I can't, unfortunately, do another 5-hour stream like normal, but I definitely wanted to hop on and at least do some problems together, do a little bit. Fishing Enthusiast wasn't here last stream, but I learned that you hate web design more than I used to. Oh no! What makes you say that? And when you say web design, do you mean like the actual design part of it, or do you mean like front-end programming? What part of web design do you hate the most? Let's hear about it. Siki-sama did Eulers in Uiwa, and number 3 is get the prime factors. It's literally just, I don't know how to pronounce that, but yeah, Siki-sama was telling me that Uiwa has like a prime factorization operator, which is really cool. I think that's super neat. I'm still curious how it's implemented. On a reduce multiply. Of course, why didn't I think of that? Okay. Alright, I'm gonna start getting into our in-place array operations. I feel like, okay, 10:30, I feel like, oh wait, 10:30 is like 4 hours. You know what? I'm starting a little earlier than I thought. I thought I can get through at least like... Okay, if we can get through at least 2 problems, I'll be pretty happy. I'll be pretty happy. Alright, before we jump in, I'm gonna close my door and turn on the AC, because it is a little humid today. A little humid today. I gotta move the laundry off my laundry chair. You know how it is. You know how it is, Goshujin-sama. Let's see. Konosuba Life says you can read Uiwa right to left without having to worry about trains constantly. Right to left, right to left. That takes a little getting used to. APL is also right to left, right? I think. Fishing enthusiast, hates HTML and CSS, don't mind the programming part. Oh, that's interesting. Well, I know a lot of programmers really hate CSS, and I am the biggest CSS defender. I think it's really cool. You can do a lot more with it than people give it credit for. And I think that TypeScript, or not TypeScript, ooh! Welcome to the computer lab, Kuzi? Kuzi? I'm gonna say Kuzi. Let me know if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but O kaえりなさいませ, go shujin sama, thank you so much for the follow! But yeah, I think, CSS is a lot cooler than we give it credit for. I think, SCSS, SAS was like the last improvement that we ever needed, and I think that Tailwind is a blight. I hate Tailwind so much. Cues, I see, excuse, I get it. Oh, that's a cute name. Okaeri nasaimase, Q-sama, thank you so much for joining me in my computer lab. But yes, maybe someday I'll do like an HTML and CSS stream. I think that would be fun. I've been saying that I want everyone to like make their own webpage, like on NecoWeb or NeoCities, so that would be a fun stream. It could be like a workshop. We could all make websites together. Okay, so today we're gonna be continuing on the Arrays 101 chapter. We already got through inserting items, deleting items, and searching for an item, and now this next section is called in-place operations. So let's see what this is all about. In programming interviews, the interviewer often expects you to minimize the time and space complexity of your implementation. In-place array operations help to reduce space complexity, and so are a class of techniques that pretty much everybody encounters regularly in interviews. So what are in-place operations? The best way of answering this question is to look at an example. You know what? I said I was gonna turn on my AC, and all I did was close the door, and now I'm just boiling like a crab or something. Let me actually turn on my AC. I'm gonna be a much happier maid. Alright. Great. Okay. The best way of answering this question, what are in-place operations, is to look at an example. Given an array of integers, return an array where every element at an even indexed position is squared. Oh, hang on, my system admin is messaging me. My music volume is... Oh, wait. Seki-sama, do you mean my music is too loud or my voice is too loud? You probably mean my voice is too loud, huh? I'm gonna reduce my voice volume a little bit. Oh, my music is too loud. Okay. I'll put myself back up a little bit and then I will make my music a little quieter. Hopefully that's better. Is that better? I hope that's better. I guess I have to keep talking if you're gonna tell me if that's better. Okay, good. Yay! Yippee! Okay. In-place operations. Given an array of integers, return an array where every element at an even indexed position is squared. Okay, so for example, if we get this array coming in, then the even index elements should be squared. Yes, right, because it's 0 index, so the first one, 0, considered even, so that gets squared. Index 1 is odd, so it's not squared, etc. This problem is hopefully very straightforward. Have a quick think about how you would implement it as an algorithm, though possibly jotting down some code on a piece of paper. Okay, so I think we can probably all think through this together. Go Shujin-sama. How would you want to solve it? How would you approach it? For me, I would probably solve it in O of n time, simply by looping through every element of the array, and then, actually, we could do it. We don't have to loop through every element. We could probably, we could probably loop through every even element even. We could do like a for loop where instead of I++, it's like I plus 2. That would probably work. So yeah, we could loop through all of the even indices of the array, and at every even index we just replace that box, that element, with its square, and that is definitely what is considered an in-place operation, since we are not creating a new array, we're not creating any other trackers or anything, we're just plopping it right down into the spot that it was at before. Anyway, there are two ways we could approach it. Ooh, okay. The first is to create a new array of the same size as the original. Then we should copy the odd indexed elements and square the even indexed elements, writing them into the new array. That's right, that would be not in place. That would just be copying it over into a brand new array. The above approach, although correct, is an inefficient way of solving the problem. This is because it uses O of length extra space. Instead, we could iterate over the original input array itself, overwriting every even indexed element with its own square. That way we don't need the extra space. It is this technique of working directly in the input array and not creating a new array that we call in-place. In-place array operations are a big deal for programming interviews, where there is a big focus on minimizing both time and space complexity of algorithms. Okay, so this is very true that it's a big thing for programming interviews, but I think in real life, most programmers are not really ever going to have to worry about space complexity, because computers these days are just that chunky that we really don't have to worry about it too much anymore. Though back in the day, like when like people were doing like what's it called? The demo scene. Like back in the day with the demo scene, I'm sure they had to do lots of this kind of thing to fit their very cool demos on like teeny tiny little devices. Ooh, UUA is your favorite array language. You learned it for Advent of Code last year. Might just do it again this year in UUA. Ooh, that sounds fun. That sounds fun. I looked a little bit at the UUA like documentation, and it's definitely something that I would love to learn at some point. It looks pretty fun. Alright. Here is the in-place implementation for square even. Let's see. Yep, they did what I was saying. They do I plus equals 2. So we don't even have to look at the odd number elements, since we know we're just going to leave those as it is. We go through the even number indices and then replace that element with its own square. We got this little multiplication equals to multiply it by itself. That's very cool. That's very cool. Alright, and then they have a little animation showing the algorithm. So let's see. That goes through a little fast. Let's go back. I plus 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 plus. I mean, I guess that would work. A little cursed, but it probably would work. Alright, let's go through what is happening here. Make this a little bit bigger. Can I close? Yeah, okay. Since this element is an even index, we square it. The way we check a number is even or not is num modulo 2 equals 0. Also note that we make the change in place. You know, in their implementation, we didn't need to use modulo because we were just only looking at the even indexes in the first place, but we certainly could double check that way. For the second one, the index is not an even index, so we move on to the next element. This like animation is a little bit different. This is not the same algorithm actually that they have written here. That's interesting. I wonder if I can like leave a comment letting them know that this is actually, because the algorithm that they have up here, we're not like skipping over, we're not like looking at the odd indices and saying let's not do anything. We're actually only ever looking at the even indices. So the actual algorithm would be like, this one would be red, because I guess red means we're currently looking at it, so this one would be red, and then in the next step, this number 9, the index 2 would be the next red one, and I suppose -2 would remain white. We would never actually land on that index in the, technically, in the algorithm they have up here. Actually, guys! But okay, so they're describing this separate algorithm where we look at the 0 index, we square it, we look at the first index, the 1 index, we say that's not an even index, so we move on to the next element. Index 2 is even, so we square it in place. Index 3 is an odd number, so we move on to the next element. Index 4 is even, so we square it, and so on and so forth. The final array modified in place now. If suppose you wanted the original value at index 2, you cannot get it. The original array consisted of negative integers as well. Yeah, so some of these, like, this was negative before, and we would have no way of knowing that once we updated it in place, because we are overwriting the old data. No way to get it back. An important difference for in place versus not in place is that in place modifies the input array. This means that other functions can no longer access the original data because it has been overwritten. We'll talk more about this in a bit. We now have a couple of straightforward in-place problems for you to try. Remember, you aren't allowed to create any new arrays or any other data structure. If the return type of the equation is an array, then simply return the input array once you've modified it. Okay, all right, you ready to get started on this? Oops, I keep scrolling the wrong button to resize. Let's go back here. All right, you ready, Go Shujin-sama, to try some in-place operations? I gotta admit, this is the section I'm least enthusiastic about because, like I said, in-place operations are not super useful for most modern programmers. Especially, like, for me, I'm like doing web development, we never have to do this kind of thing. And in fact, if I can, I usually try to avoid doing anything in place because I like to lean a little bit more into functional programming myself, with like TypeScript and stuff. But it's still fun to practice. Fun to practice a skill I never, very rarely use. Alright, so given an array, replace every element in that array with the greatest element among the elements to its right, and replace the last element with -1. Okay, replace elements with greatest element on right side. Interesting. After doing so, return the array. Okay, so let's look at an example. We got 17, 18, 5, 4, 6, 1. Replace the last element with -1. I wonder why? Oh, because we're looking at the right, not the left. Yes, okay. So once we get to the very end, there's nothing else to look at, so we just do -1 for invalid or something. Okay, so when we're at position 0, the biggest thing to the right of it is 18. So we in place replace 18. When we're at position 1, the biggest thing to the right of it is 6. And so on and so forth. Okay. Alright. Let's see. How is we gonna do this? Alright. Well, I have an idea for like the most simple way to approach this. And then I also have an idea for how we can potentially make this a little bit better. Because the complete naive solution is probably going to be O of n squared, right? Because the naive solution is basically Someday I really gotta set up, by the way, like a whiteboard situation so I can do some whiteboarding for these, but for now I'll just like pseudocode it out. So the naive implementation, I'm gonna say impl. Sorry guys. Alright, so the naive implementation is we're gonna loop over every element at every index, loop over the remaining elements to find the biggest one, update in place, and continue the loop. And I guess we're also gonna have to check if there are, like, we'll say, like, if there are no other remaining elements, default to -1. So this is definitely going to be O of n squared, and I hope for those of you who are returning, you can see why. For those of you who are new, I'll also go through this and type it all out, and we'll all see together, but basically, the tell that this is going to be O of n squared time is we're doing 2 loops inside of each other, so we're looping over every element, and then at every element we're doing a second loop, which means that worst case we are essentially looping over every element at every element. That's gonna be, you know, n elements times n elements, and that is gonna give us O of n squared time. I think that we can make this better, and I think it may end up being O of n time. Let's see if I'm thinking about this correctly. And I guess the better implementation that I'm thinking of wouldn't exactly be an in-place modification because we are gonna create a second data structure. I think it'll still pass. It's within the letter of the law, but I don't know if it's in the spirit of the law. But the better implementation is we can go through the first time and basically make a hash map of the how do I put it? We can like sort things in order. Oh, can we do that in O of n time actually? I'm not so sure. Okay, well, we'll see when we get here, but I think the general idea is like create a hash map. Maybe just an array. We'll have some kind of data structure to keep track of the index order of how do I put this thing? English. Okay, so let me see if I can explain this. So basically, like, you have like your list, you have your array, and I want to know, like, at each, like, if you shuffled things into order with their index, if that makes sense. Like, I wanna put the elements in order, and then I wanna keep track of like what index comes after which index, if that makes sense. So if we have like the array is like 3, if the array is like 1, 2, 3, with like, let's say 0, 1, 2, just to make things simple. So 0 is at the 0 index, 1 is at the 1 index, 2 is at the 2 index, then what we would want is, well, okay, let me make it a little easier. So, like, let's say we have, like, A at the no, that's not gonna work either. 4. The number 4 is in the 0 index, the number 5 is in the 1 index, and the number 6 is in the 3 index. Then what I'm thinking is we would have an array that says, like, 3, 2, 1, because that's gonna show us, like, what, order, like, when you sort the values into decreasing order, what is the, like, what are those indices? I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Because at that point, we have a list of greatest index element, like greatest elements by index in decreasing order, which means that at any point in our next loop around, we can just basically say which index are we at. If your index is less than this index, then we can just do that one, because we know that's going to be the biggest one. I don't think that makes any sense. Hopefully it'll make sense once we get there. Grandma, welcome! Boy, a grandma. Boy, is it boy a grandma? Or is it buoy a grandma? Either way, Grandma-sama, o kaeri nasai mase, go sujin-sama, welcome to the computer lab. We're just getting started on going over some different approaches for this problem. Booyah! Oh, booyah, Grandma! Oh my gosh, I love that! Booyah, Grandma! Booyah-sama, o kaeri nasai mase, go sujin-sama. Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, so we've got our naive implementation, which I'm gonna start first, and then the better implementation where we create that list, and then, for our second loop through, use the map or array to find the greatest value to the right. Ohio! Oh my gosh, Ohio! That's good morning, isn't it? Is it morning where you are right now? Always curious what time zones people are tuning in from. Booyah, Grandma! Have you learned anything this past week? What's something you've learned this week? I wanna learn. I gotta crowdsource my knowledge. Alright, I'm gonna start with the naive implementation. Booyah, Grandma, you're in Japan! That's so cool! That's really, really cool! Have you always lived there, or did you move there from somewhere else at one point? Since you're in Japan and you're speaking English to me, you know I gotta hit you with the Eigo Jozu! Your English is so good! Oh, you moved there 2 years ago from the US! That makes sense! That's why your English is so good! Do you like it there? Do you like living in Japan? Coming from the US? Don't make me come back, it's amazing. Oh, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous, Booyah-sama. I want to go there so bad. Wait, so if you're in Japan, have you been to a maid cafe before? You've never been! Oh my gosh, you gotta make it out to At Home Cafe is my personal favorite. I also really enjoy Maid Dreamin' as well. They're both A+ maid cafes. And if you end up in Ikebukuro, my secret favorite is Wonder Parlor. They do more of a like Victorian maid cafe experience. It's very elegant, very formal, very small. It's a really small cafe, but I love it so much. It's one of my personal faves. But yeah, At Home was the first like in Japan maid cafe that I've ever been to, and I always kind of looked down on Maid Dreamin' because I thought they were a little like I don't know, like cheaper. They seemed a little bit more mass-produced, if that makes sense, compared to At Home Cafe, which was very like particular about all the details. But I finally went with some friends the last time I was there, and we did the Nomi Hodai, which I didn't know they have like all you can drink like alcohol service. I didn't know they served alcohol at all at Maid Dreamin', and they have like a Nomi Hodai, and we had so much fun. So I feel bad for looking down on them earlier. It just goes to show you, never be a snob. Always try it before you knock it. Oh, your wife wants to go for language practice? Actually, yeah, maid cafes are a really good place for language practice. Because they will, like, sit and talk to you a little bit. You get some really good, like, small talk practice there. My Leap in Nagoya, I've always wanted to go there. Is that the one with the green uniforms? Yes! Oh my gosh, yes. They also do like elegant tea service, and their uniforms are like such a cute forest green. I definitely have to go there someday. Oh, look how cute! That's so cute. Oh, is that Rico? Rika, right? Oh, I should know Aqua better. Rika? Yeah! Rico. I think they have like a little Rico standee and Rico. Oh yeah, it says Rico here. Rico-chan. So cute. But yeah, no worries. Enjoy your lurking. We'll probably be here when you get back. I'll probably stream for like at least 2 hours. We'll see. The Linux developer, hello programmer, anime waifu, what questions are you working on today? Linux developer sama, o kaeri nasai mase, go shujin sama. Welcome to the computer lab once again. Today we're working on in-place operations, which we did do a little bit of last week, but this week is like dedicated to it. So like I was saying, it's a little less interesting to me, these problems, because really in my day-to-day as like a web programmer, space optimization is not something we're ever super worried about, in my personal experience, but it is fun to think about something that I rarely think about. So this problem is we are replacing each element with the greatest element to the right side of the element. So this example should give you an idea of what that kind of looks like. Basically at each index we're saying what is the greatest element that comes after it, and updating in place with whatever that maximum value is. And right now I am getting started on the naive implementation, which is probably going to be O of n squared time. So starting at 0, I is less than array dot length, I plus plus. And then for each of those, we are going to, for let j equal to, we'll start it at I plus 1, j less than array dot length, j plus plus, and for each j, what we're gonna do is check. Well, I guess what we can do is we can start at array at I is equal to array at I plus 1. We can start there. We can start at j equals I plus 2, and then we say if array at j is greater than array at I, then array at I equals array at j. So we're going through every element in the array. At each element we start by replacing it with the value next to it. And then we loop through everything else, the rest of the array, and say if that element is greater than the current element that we just copied over, then we will set that to the new array at I value. And then at the end, each element is going to end up being the greatest element to, that comes after it. We also need to do a check if array dot length. I guess we go until array at length minus 1, and then at the end we set array at array dot length equals to minus 1, because they said the very last element should just be replaced with minus 1 by default because there's nothing that comes after it. And do we need to do a check here if I plus 2 exists? I think that this should just skip. I don't think this is gonna cause an error or anything. If we start at j equals I plus 2 and I plus 2 is already greater than array.length, I think it'll just skip it. So I think we're in good shape. I got fussed at during a mock interview for using language built in versus doing the program using a naive implementation. Oh no! Did they really fuss at you, or did they just ask you to go back and say, okay, well, without the built-in, the language built-ins, how would you do it without that? Because I feel like it's fair if they want to see like logical, because I feel like if you use the language built-ins, that's good because it shows like a mastery of the language, but you're also missing out on seeing some of your like more fundamental problem solving, I guess. So I think it's fair if they wanted you to do both, but if they were like mad at you for using built-ins, I feel like that's pretty silly. Don't do that in a real interview. They want to see how your brain works. Oh, that's silly. That's silly. I mean, it's always a good idea to at least mention what the naive implementation would be. And if you can like say, oh, this is the naive implementation and it would be, you know, O of n squared, but you know, it's better, like here's a way to do it that's like a little clever using like the built-ins or something. Especially if you happen to remember what the like time and space complexity of the built-ins are, then you can look really fancy, because you can be like, okay, well, the naive implementation would be O of n squared, but we can use like this built-in function, which is O of n, and then we can solve it in O of n time using this. Like, that's pretty good, I think. I would hire you. I would hire you for that. Okay, let's see if this works. I may have missed an edge case here. I want to think through like the case that you I plus 2 is, you know, undefined. Like, let's look at an example like 0, 1, 2, 3. So when we're on the we're just gonna skip the last one. But what about if we're on number 2? We'll set it equal to 3, and then I think this will just skip. So yeah, I think this should work. Let's see if the naive implementation works. Let's run the code. Half the places that I have had interviewed for didn't even have an in-house programmer yet anyway, just an IT guy with an old interview playbook. That could be exciting sometimes, breaking new ground on new technologies for them. Okay, let's see. I got a compilation error. Oh, because I forgot to return. I forgot to return array. There we go. Always forget to return. Okay, so it passed the simple example. Let's see how it does when we submit it. Wrong answer. Let's see. Input, output, expected output. What did we do wrong? 18, 6, 6, 6, 1. Ooh, what happened here? 1, 1, minus 1. Oh, I got board-sama! Itterashaimase, go shujin sama! Have fun at class! I will have fun at off-kai. I'm, a little nervous, as always, but I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be real fun. What did I do here? I had an extra one. Last element, off by 1 logic error. I need to push the last element. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Do we need to do, like, array.length minus 2? Or no, we gotta do, array.length minus 1, huh? I think that'll do it. I wonder how that passed the other test. Yep. Yep, we are good. We are good. So replace elements. Let's now try, oops. Let's now try making a better approach. So this was O of n squared time. Let's see if we can do, I bet we can do O of n time. Go Shujin-sama, do you understand the naive implementation? Do you understand why it's O of n squared? Please feel free to ask me questions. I'm happy to answer. You'll go teach yourself Quick Shell. What is Quick Shell? Building blocks for your desktop. Ooh, this is cool. This is really cool. Is this for Linux? For building Linux widgets? Ooh, that's really cool. Have you used it before? I've been thinking I would love to get into this kind of thing. I gotta keep this in my back pocket for later. You can build the whole desktop? That's really cool. Does it only work for certain distros? She sells quick shells on the seashore. Okay, Shiaka-sama, that's really funny. Wayland in general. Oh, I don't know what Wayland is. Linux Wayland. Oh, modern display server protocol. What's a pirate's favorite programming language? Ooh, I know this one! I know this one! Chat, what do you think? What is a pirate's favorite programming language? Rust because it starts with R. The C? I feel like R is the canonical answer, but I like the C. I never thought about it that way. That's pretty good. Yeah, R is R programming language. R is for like math stuff. It's like I always forget, Mathematica? Is that what it's called? Yeah. R is basically open source Mathematica as far as I am aware. Less of a programming language. Is it considered a programming language? Yeah, it is. It is a programming language. R is R Turing complete? It must be, right? Is R Turing complete? Oh, you're a programming fan? Name every programming language. Basic. Who are you calling basic? Who are you calling basic? Alright, so we did the naive O of n squared implementation. Let's try to make it a little bit better. And the fact that I had such a hard time articulating in English what I was thinking to do with this one makes me a little unsure of whether my idea is actually gonna work. But let's see. So for let I equal to 0, I less than array.length, I++, so we're gonna loop through everything. And the first thing is we're gonna basically like sort the indexes. So let's create const sorted indexes. Something like that. Did I grow up speaking English? Obviously, English is my first language, which is why if I can't explain it in English, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to explain it in TypeScript. But we'll see, we'll see. I'm gonna do my best. Okay, so the problem is I'm trying to sort things and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that in O of N time. Let's see, let's look at different sorting algorithms. We've got, sorting algorithms. Let's look at, Geeks for Geeks. No, okay. Yeah, let's look at Wikipedia. Okay, best n log n in place merge sort. Block sort, smooth sort, Tim sort, patient sorting, cube sort, flux sort, crumb sort. Wow, I've never heard of most of these. Insertion sort. Oh, I'm looking at the best case, aren't I? Yeah, I'm looking at the best case. Let's look at, like, worst and average, I guess. Okay, I feel like the best we're gonna be able to get is, like, n log n. Since sorting is inherently a bigger than n, O of n time on average and in worst case. I feel like n log n is probably the best we're gonna get. Heap sort. Heap sort seems promising. Quicksort. I think quicksort is what JavaScript uses by default. Okay, I'm probably putting way too much thought into this. Instead, what I might do is, let me make... Let me just, okay, I'm gonna dump everything into, I don't know if this is actually gonna be better, but let's dump everything into a hash map of everything. Dump everything into a, or no, we're not gonna dump everything into a hash map. What we're gonna do is, let's see, index records. Let's create an array called index records. Matt is reals. Oかえりなさいませ、ご主人様. Welcome to the computer lab. Is this a stream element or did you put a LeetCode theme? No, I am on LeetCode.com right now. I'm doing actual LeetCodes here. Very reals, very true. Just as real as this LeetCode problem. Yeah, we're solving LeetCodes here. I am trying to improve on my naive implementation a little bit. Trying to get, I think my goal is n log n. I think we can get it down to n log n. But we'll see. You do Sonic ROM hacking? That's really cool! That's really cool! What kind of ROM hacks do you make? Do you make, like, custom levels kind of thing? I don't have any tips for ROM hacking, because I've actually never tried it. But I do think ROM hacking is really cool. I have nothing but respect for y'all who do that in the community. People get so creative with their ROM hacks, I love it. Do you do more like, because I know there's like different kinds of ROM hacks. There's like the really crazy, like super difficult level ones where they make levels that are like nearly impossible for a human being to solve. And then there's others who just make like really funny ones, like joke ROM hacks. I do love all of them. I do love all of them. If you have your ROM hacks up anywhere, like on working on a Sonic 3 and Knuckles disassembly, whoa, that's really cool. So when you say disassembly, are you like going through the code and like figuring out how it works? Ooh, okay, so you do level design. That's really cool. That's really cool. Do you have any of your ROM hacks up on like itch.io or anything like that? Definitely feel free to share with the class. That would be really cool. What question is this? So we are currently working on replacing elements with the greatest element in the right side. So basically going through an array and replacing every element with the greatest element that comes after it. And we did a naive implementation that was O of n squared just by looping through everything for every element. Which was pretty simple. And now I'm trying to utilize some kind of sort algorithm. Probably quicksort. I think that's what JavaScript does by default. To get this down maybe to O of n log n. That's probably the best I can do off the top of my head. Oh, somebody already decompiled it. I see, I see. That's very cool. That's very cool. All right, so my plan is I'm gonna dump all of the values of the array into this index records array. Then I'm gonna sort it so we have an idea of like which indices have the highest values, and then we can use that in a second loop around to replace the elements with the greatest value that comes after it. So let's start by creating that index, by populating that index records. JavaScript's internal sort uses n log n. Yeah, that makes sense. I would expect that. I would expect that. I think that's kind of like the best you can do, except for like special cases where it's like the best case scenario kind of thing. I think n log n is what you could probably expect to see most of the time, hopefully. Alright, so we're gonna loop through the array for the first time, and for every element we are going to index records dot push, and we are going to push an object with the index is I, and the value is array at I. After we do that, we're going to have all of our indices and values together like that, so then we can go through index records dot sort. We gotta give it a function, and it's going to be x dot value greater than y dot value. I always mix up what direction to write my like sort thingies. Do you remember, Go Suijin sama, do you remember like if I want it to be in I want it to be in descending order. If I want it to be in descending order, would I do x dot value greater than y dot value, or do I do it the reverse? I always forget. I need help with this. Your Twitch crashed? Oh no! Well, I'm glad you made it back. Glad you made it back safely. I hope you had a parachute for your Twitch crash. Yeah, I always forget those comparisons. Okay, let me look it up. If I look at JavaScript array sort, playtest your ROM hacks. I would love to do that. I will say I did download a virus by accident one time by agreeing to playtest someone's game, so if I was going to playtest one of your ROM hacks, I would probably be a little bit more careful this time and make sure that I run it by my system admin to make sure that, you know, I'm not running some very weird code. But yeah, if you want me to playtest your game, I would be happy to take a look and carefully audit the game before I run it and playtest it. I would be really happy to do that. Compatible with the Mega Drive. Oh, is that like an emulator? Is that like some kind of emulator? Very cool, very cool. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do it like this like on stream right now, but if you send me a private message, I would be happy to take a look at that. I will say I'm not a very good gamer. So don't expect too much out of me, but I will definitely give it my best shot. So I don't have a Discord set up right now. But if you send me like a Twitch DM, I check my DMs. So yeah, if you send it to me in DM on Twitch, then I can take a look at it. And you know, it will be really fun when I have a little bit more time after Offka Expo to do like a little stream where I like playtest people's projects and stuff. I would love to do that. I'm probably gonna have to set up a Discord before too long, so sometime in the next couple of streams you may see me add a Discord link for a Discord server. I only started streaming about a month ago, and I wasn't sure if I was going to gain a community or anything. I didn't want to stretch myself too thin with different channels that I need to check. So for right now, I just have Twitch, YouTube, Blue Sky for stream announcements, and then I also just set up a Ko-fi, which you can see at the top. We have a little progress bar raising money for Discord emotes right now. Yes, in addition to any bits or subscriptions, which also go into the emote fund, you can also toss me $1 or $2 in there. It'll all go into commissioning custom emotes for the stream, and in the future, possibly some like key art assets, and, you know, overlays and stuff. Would love to donate if I had money. Well, no worries, no worries. I'm actually thinking to add some like channel point incentives as well to like add money to the to the art fund, even though those aren't real money. Mainly I just wanted to kind of rate limit myself because I get really excited about new projects, and it would be easy for me on my own accord to dump like thousands of dollars into stream assets for a stream that's only a month old. So I wanted to make sure that I was you know, making sure that I'm tying my my spending on stream assets, tying it to like you know, how much interest I'm getting in my streams. What are those options you have for the bits? Yeah, so on my channel on Twitch, I have both bits and bytes. So bits are the standard like Twitch, you know, you pay for bits and then you can send bits in as like donations to the streamer. So I do accept bits, but I also have free channel points, which are called bytes. You acquire those as you watch on Twitch, so for free without having to pay for them just by being on my stream right now, you should be accruing bytes. I think I made the icon for it like little zeros and ones, which my system admin pointed out that it's actually a little bit, it's a little bad because normally a byte is bigger than a or a bit is supposed to be smaller than a byte. But because channel points are free and like just the exchange rate, my bits are actually worth more than the bytes. And he also pointed out that I've made a huge error because even though it's called a byte, which is supposed to be 16 bits, I believe, or 8. Wait, a byte is 8. It's 8, right? I'm pretty sure it's 8. A byte is 8 bits, I think. But my, like, yeah, it would be 8. But my, what is it called? My little icon for the bytes is actually only 4 bits. So I think that it's called a nibble. I think just a couple of bits together is like considered a nibble, I believe. Bits, bytes, nibbles. Oh, group of 4 bits. Yeah, so right now my my icon for a byte is actually a nibble. And the conversion rate for my bits and bytes are also, like, backwards. So we're all a little bit confused here. But, you know, we're having fun. That's the important part. Espishin-sama, okaeri nasai mase, go shujin-sama! Espishin-sama, are we gonna see you at the Maid Cafe this weekend? I wasn't sure if you're coming to Offkai. But if you are, I hope you got tickets. We have a table waiting for you. But yeah, so, Matt Israel's, to, finish my thought there, we do have free channel points. You can currently redeem them for things like asking me to solve a homework problem for you. You can decide what programming language, I solve the next problem in. All those kinds of things. You can also redeem it for, like, stretches. You can remind me to drink water. All that kind of stuff. At some point, I might add also a redemption that if you know, redeem enough channel points, then I'll put money of my own into the art fund. So yeah, whatever it is, I still need to add that. Like I said, I only started streaming like about a month ago, so there's still a lot of things I want to set up on my channel that I haven't gotten around to just yet, but definitely keep coming because I'm gonna set up more and more things as we continue. Speaking of water, I just reminded myself that I have matcha bubble tea in front of me that I need to take some sips from. Oh, it's just Inshallah you won't be there. That's too bad, we'll miss you. Ah! I'm dying! I'm dying! I have a drinking problem. Espishin Sama, we will miss you at Offkai Expo, but I completely understand. It is a lot to go to so many events, and, yeah, I actually wasn't really into VTubers when I first started going. I just went to help, my friend who runs the Maid Cafe there. I just went to help her, but every year that I go, I get a little bit more interested in VTubers. And finally I was like, I guess I gotta make myself a model. So here we are. Ooh, Anime Club! Is that like a weekly or monthly thing? Or is that like an event? Tell me more about this Anime Club. Oh, right! Before I got completely distracted, I was looking for Matt Israel-sama, welcome back! Welcome back. I was looking up JavaScript array sort. I was looking up whether it's gonna be backwards or forwards. Compare function. Okay, first element, second element, one of the Javas based on Minecraft Java and JavaScript itself. That's really cool! Wait, is Minecraft Java like for programming in Minecraft? Because I've heard of people like building functioning computers and things like that in Minecraft. Oh, the successor club to the anime club founding a large anime convention starting with the letter F. That's so cool! I'm glad they're still active. Are there still members of the anime club who, like, were part of the founding team for that particular anime convention? The club is now an official library program. Wow, that's so cool! I love seeing libraries getting more and more into like anime and manga over the years. It's been so great. I remember being a teen in the library teen zone reading all my mangas. I'm so glad that that resource is there for all of the new weebs in the world. That's cool though. What anime are you all gonna be watching at the club this weekend? What is your operating system? You use Mint? Oh, that's cool. Right now I'm on Ubuntu because I recently switched to Linux for the first time. So I wanted to start with a good, you know, beginner-friendly Linux distro. But I've had Mint recommended to me before, and I think it would be good if nothing else then because Mint is also like the famous VTuber, the famous like Maid Ghost VTuber. I feel like it would be very appropriate as a Maid Cafe streamer to be streaming on Mint. Mint is great for your crappy ThinkPad. How old is your ThinkPad? We do love a good vintage ThinkPad. Alright, let me, I'm gonna put my loading spinner on real quick while I try and figure out what direction I'm supposed to put this. Alright, we're pulling out the loading spinner because we are thinking super hard about this. Okay, so let's see. A negative value indicates that A should come before B. So A coming before B, in this case, if we want it to be in descending order, then A comes before B if A is bigger than B. So if A is bigger than B, then it should return a negative number if A is bigger than B. So we want B minus A, because B minus A is going to be negative if A is bigger. I'm pretty sure. We want B minus A. We want B minus A. B minus A, which means Y minus X. Sorry, Go Shujin-sama, about that. I had to clear my throat real quick. Multiple monitors? No, I had to mute myself because I got a thing in my throat. I think I need to grab some water, Go Shujin-sama. I will be right back. I'm gonna throw the loading spinner back on while I go grab water. I will be right back, Go Shujin-sama. Stay right where you are, and we'll continue with our sorting implementation. BRB, Go Shujin-sama, thank you for waiting! Alright, Go Su Jin-sama, we are back, we are back! We've learned a very important lesson today, which is always bring water when you are gonna be yapping. Never yap unprepared. Yippee! The former organizers who were part of the early anime con scene don't normally come to the club anymore. Most interesting animes, probably original Macross, the subtitled DVDs are no longer available. Ooh! I've always wanted to watch Macross, and it's not like I don't know how to find anime if it's not, you know, on DVD, but, yeah, I've never gotten my hands on it to watch it. I definitely need to watch it someday. I'm pretty sure, though, that it is due to the success of Macross that the first, and for a long time only Idolmaster anime that we had was indeed a mecha anime, which I still think is super funny. What's especially funny to me is when I tell people that, people don't believe me. Which is crazy, because I feel like, oh, what was it called, the Idolmaster anime? Mecha Anime Idolmaster. Xenoglossia! Yeah! I feel like Xenoglossia was, like, pretty big, like, when it came out. Like, never, like, the most popular anime, but I feel like it was pretty popular. So I think it's so funny that in just, like, you know, a couple of decades, it's, like, been completely forgotten. I feel like new Idol fans have no idea this even existed. Okay, so where were we? Yes, so we decided that we were going to sort it this way for it to be in descending order. I think this should work. And then once our records are sorted, what we're gonna do is, if you do want to play any Sega games, look up KEGA Fusion 36.4. Oh, emulator! Ooh, that's awesome! That's really cool. Are your ROM hacks playable on the KEGA Fusion? Is this how I can play your ROM hacks? Not the new stuff, just back when Sega had the Sega CD? Alright, alright, alright. You know, I'm lucky that at my house we actually have a CRT. So I can plug these up to our CRT and play it the way God intended. On a beanbag in front of a giant CRT. It's compatible with Linux, but I suggest you get the Windows one and download Wine. Oh, is the Linux one not as, like, fully featured? Your grandma has a CRT? Wait, where's Grandma-sama? We had Booyah Grandma in the chat earlier. We gotta borrow Booyah Grandma's CRT. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. I'm sorry to hear that. The Windows one functions good with Wine. Alright, good to know, good to know. I am currently running VC Face on Wine through Lutris. How do you DM me? I think, let me see. I know Twitch does have DMs. Let me see if I can... Twitch... Let's see. How do you message me? Oh, it's called Whispers on Twitch. Let's see. Whisper me. I think if you click on my name, there's like a whisper button that you can whisper it to me. So now that this is sorted, we can go through the loop one more time. So let I equal to 0, I less than array.length, I plus plus. Yay, you found it! And, oh, you're gonna go, okay, thank you so much for coming by. Itterashaimase, go shujin sama, that is reals. Please take care of yourself, and I will see you hopefully next Thursday. Next week I'm gonna finally get back to my normal Thursday streaming schedule with all of the craziness of con season behind us. Bye bye, take care. Alright, so we put everything into this index records, we sorted it in descending order by the value, and now what we're gonna do is loop through, and for every I, we'll say, if I is less than how are we gonna do this? This might not be as helpful as I thought it was gonna be. Cause what I was gonna do is if I is greater than index records oh, what am I doing? Do I need to put the loading spinner back on? Let's see. So, let's const, what is it? Biggest value. Const max? Const max is going to be index records, the first element of index records dot value, and max index. In fact, we can just destructure this, so index records at 0, we've got, I won't destructure it, let's just do max index is index records at 0 dot index. And what we want to know is if max index is less than or equal to the current I. So that means that whatever the greatest value is in our record, the index comes before our current index, or it's not after our current index. So if that's the case, then we are going to shift index records dot shift. Let me just triple check that does what I think it does. JS shift. Yes, we're gonna shift. So we're gonna pop off the first element. Because that index is no longer relevant. And then what I'm also gonna do is while what problem is this? Mathematical Turtle, おかえりなさいませ, ご主人様. Welcome to the computer lab, Mathematical Turtle. Right now we're working through LeetCodes. We are working on replacing each element with the greatest element that comes after it. So in this example, you can see that like the first element, 17, the greatest element that comes after it is 18. So that 17 gets replaced with 18. For the next three elements actually, the greatest element to the right of it ends up being 6, so these all get replaced with 6. And then the very last element, since there's nothing that comes after it, it should get replaced with a -1. So we went ahead and did our naive implementation here. And now I'm going ahead and working, this was O of n squared, and I'm working on slightly more optimized, time optimized implementation that involves some sorting. And I'm trying to figure out the final steps of this process. So what we've done so far in the more optimized version is that we have this index records, which we are populating with all of the values and their index in the original array. We're sorting that in descending order, and then after that we're looping through every element of the array, and basically that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out what we need to do at that point. I think what we want to do is like continuously shift elements off of the index records as we pass the index. So maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe that's what I will do. Trying to think about this. I almost feel like we could do something. Let's see. Can we just shift it once? Are we guaranteed to be able to just shift it once? Let me think this through. If we have an example, like let's take the example that they gave us, right? Let's look at the example that they gave us. The index records is going to look like value is 17, index is 0. Increment a shift counter and then do one big shift. Ooh, Katyusha, おかえりなさいませ, ご主人様. Welcome to the computer lab. Thank you so much for joining me again. Do one big shift. That could work. I'm wondering though if we are guaranteed to always only have to do one shift. It might work out that way if things are sorted in the right way. Let me like just see what this is gonna look like, because we're gonna have value 17 at index 1, value 18 at index, at index 0, value 18 at index 1. We'll have value 5 at index 2. Value is 4 at index 3. Value is 6 at index 4. Value is 1 at index 5. And then, could you please show the problem again? Of course, of course. So the problem is replace elements with greatest element on the right side. Given an array, replace every element in that array with the greatest element among the elements to its right, meaning among the elements that come after it in the array, and replace the last element with -1, and then return the array after doing so. So that is the problem statement. This is what we expect to see with an example input. And our naive implementation. That's such a LeetCode problem! Yeah, it is. It really is. Well, this whole section, these problems are all from the in-place operations section of Arrays 101. And I was saying earlier that in-place operations are really pretty useless in, I'd say, the majority of what, like, most programmers are doing with their lives. At this point in time, like, space complexity is not really something that the majority of programmers are too concerned with, because computers are so beefy now that we really don't have to worry about it. Now, if you were like in the demo scene back in the day, I'm sure you had to do lots of things like this to make sure that all of your code would fit on like a tiny, tiny little device. But for web programmers, even for game programmers, I'm assuming y'all probably don't have to worry too much about this these days. But that is also kind of what makes it interesting, since I don't do this very often. It really makes me like stretch my imagination and have to think about things in a new way. So yeah, the naive implementation here was just going through two nested loops. That's very easy to come to the solution for, but it is O of n squared time. I thought we can get it down to O of n log n by doing some kind of sorting first. So yeah, putting all of the values into like an array of objects like this that keep track of the both the value and the index. Then we can sort by value and go through and use that, hopefully. Can you iterate backwards? At each descending index, you'd only need to compare the previous element and the previous max element to the right. Oh, Totoro Slayer, that's a good idea! That's a really good idea, Totoro Slayer. I like that idea. Yeah, because you're looking at the values that come after it. So if you go from the end, the number of values you have to look at is like very small. Like 1 or 0, and then as you go, you could, yeah, okay, I like that. I'm gonna finish figuring out how to do it this way, since we're like halfway through it, and then I'm gonna take Totoro Slayer's approach. Totoro Slayer approach. Go backwards. Yeah, okay. Let's try that next. Let's try that next. Okay, so what I was saying though was if we have this sorted, are we ever gonna have to shift more than one element? Let me see. I feel like the answer is actually yes. I feel like the answer is definitely yes, actually. Yeah, just by simple fact that like the end result here doesn't have any 5s in it, means that we're definitely going to have to shift more than once. Okay, let me just do a stupid way then. Oh, Fidyan Ahmad? Is your name pronounced Ahmad? O kae ri nasai mase, go sujin sama. Welcome to the computer lab. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining me. The Maid walking backwards solution. I know, I feel like half of these have been optimized by going backwards. Which Windows are you using? You know, the funny thing is that I'm actually on Linux. I'm actually on Linux right now. But I do have everything like themed for Windows in my stream right now. For the nostalgia of Windows XP. My stream is like mostly Windows XP and a little bit of like Windows 2000 aesthetics. But yeah, I'm actually running Ubuntu secretly. Sometimes the best way forward through the cafe is backwards. Indeed, indeed. Alright, so I think what I'm gonna do is like, we're gonna do a while loop. And I think even though there's a while loop in this for loop, it's still not going to be, I think it should still end up being n log n time because in our loop we're popping things. So we're not actually going through index records more than once. even though we're like, you know, does that make sense? Ew, Ubuntu. I know. I have to, every time I say that I'm using Ubuntu, I have to qualify by saying I know it's kind of like supposedly the worst Linux. But I am new to Linux, so I wanted to start with like a very beginner-friendly distro. But I'm definitely going to do some distro hopping at some point. Rasper deval. Rasper, I'll say Rasper. Rasper-sama, what would you recommend for a beginner? What distro would you recommend for a Linux beginner? It's not bad, it's just questionable. I know. It's the Windows of Linux, I think. That's what I've been told. Ahmad is asking, is it Chinese language in the title or is it Japanese? It's Japanese! It says, "O kaえりなさいませ, go sujin sama," which means welcome home. It's my way of welcoming you home into my computer lab. Very common in maid cafes in Japan. Rasper-sama started with Arch-based distro, like Manjaro? Manjaro or Manjaro? Also questionable. Ah, I see you use Arch BTW. Okay, so we're gonna do while index records of 0 dot index is less than or equal to I, we are going to index records dot shift. So that is basically shifting out any records that aren't after the current index. And then we will you just joined and you don't know what's going on. You were working on Playwright. Ooh, you're writing some end-to-end tests? You know about Playwright? It's for end-to-end testing, right? Or for integration testing? I think that's what I've used it for before. What kind of application are you testing right now? What are you writing tests for? I think you might also be able to use Playwright to make web scrapers, right? Usually, like, anything that you can use for integration testing can also be used for web scrapers. Browser automation. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can use it for browser automation too. If not for web scraping, what else do you use it to automate in your browser? What are you building in Playwright right now? Okay, once we've shifted out all of the records that are before or at our current index, then all we have to do is array at I is equal to... Oh, thank you so much! It's I want to say raspberry eval, but I know that's not what it is. Rasper-sama, o kaeri nasai mase, go shujin sama. Thank you so much for the follow. Oh, okay. So we then update in place the array at our current index is equal to index records at 0, because that is now going to be the biggest value. Dot value. That's now going to be the biggest value that comes after our current index. And that should be good. What else? What we could do is, if we want to be a little cheeky about it, If we want to be cheeky about it, then after we sort our thingies, we can do index records dot push, and we can push index is equal to array dot length, and value is -1. That could break things if we have negative numbers. So instead, I'm just gonna leave that out, and at the end, we are going to array. This is gonna be array.length -1, just like before, and then at array of array.length -1, we're gonna set it to -1 manually, and then return array. You think this is gonna work? Do you think that's gonna work? Let's see. I used Selenium for browser testing once upon a time. Oh my gosh, I feel like I haven't, I think I used Selenium once, but I haven't heard about it in such a long time. Is Selenium, is that still, Selenium.dev, is this still, a thing that people use? You subscribed as well, but it didn't show up on the screen. Oh, yeah, Ahmad-sama, I'm so sorry, but I haven't set up, a channel, what's it called, alerts? I haven't set up alerts for YouTube yet. I know I can in, Stream Elements, I think. Or, there's, wherever I have my chat box sourced from, I know they also do, YouTube alerts, which I need to set up, but, I'll just have to, make the... Normally, if you would follow me on Twitch, it would make the Windows startup sound, so I'll just have to do it manually for you. So, do-do-do-do-do-do-do! Thank you so much for the follow! Thank you for subscribing to me on YouTube! おかえりなさいませ、ご主人様! Yay! Oh, thank you so much for the follow as well, Mathematical Turtle! おかえりなさいませ、ご主人様! Thank you so much! I hope to see you in lots and lots of my streams to come. Do you know of any Claude alternatives? I do! So, I will say that with Claude, I do say in my description that, vibe coders will get detention, and that is absolutely true. I'm not necessarily against, all, AI or LLMs or agentic coding in principle, but, I do think it's good to know what you're doing. I think it's very easy for LLMs to spit out, code or an explanation that makes sense if you don't know the subject matter, but then if you are actually an expert in the subject matter, you'd look at it and go, oh my gosh, that is complete garbage! So I think that whenever you are using, agentic workflows, it's always good to be your own subject matter expert so that you can, really evaluate if the thing that the LLM is spitting out is, actually correct and good, or if there's, some fatal flaw in it that you would only really notice if it's something that you are really skilled at, if that makes sense. But I am, I'm trying to learn a little bit more about agentic coding too, just because it's definitely, a little bit the direction the industry is heading in. Ooh, Fidi! Okaeri nasai masu, goshujin-sama! Thank you so much for the follow! I love that name, it's so fun to say. I hope I said it correctly. But yeah, besides Claude, I mean, I know that there's, what is it? There's it's Chinese, I think? A Chinese competitor that's, very, very cheap. DeepSeek, I think? Codex Copilot, definitely. I think I used DeepSeek, for a little bit, which is very, cheap. The tokens are cheap. The tokens are so cheap. You can even set up, oh, that was you! Oh, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. I appreciate it. I do multi-stream, so you can always find me in either place, Twitch or YouTube. But yeah, you can also set it up if you've run out of tokens on Claude and you don't want to buy the expensive extra Claude tokens, you can always set up the Claude harness to also use the DeepSeek thingy. Oh, a raid! Oh my gosh, thank you so much for the raid, Penbu VTuber puzzle raid. Oh my gosh! Okaeri nasai masu, goshujin-sama! Welcome to the computer lab. My name's Midori, Megane Midori. I am your personal coding maid VTuber. I am streaming LeetCode every week. I normally stream on Thursdays, but because of Off-Kai Expo, which is the one of the American VTuber conventions, I'm actually going to be working at their Maid Cafe this weekend. So I am a little bit busy on Thursday helping to set up the Maid Cafe and, you know, hosting friends who are in from out of town and that kind of thing. So because of that, I ended up having to push my stream a little bit earlier. But yeah, welcome in. We're just chatting, chilling, and, you know, talking about what everyone's been up to. Penbu, am I pronouncing your name right? Penbu VTuber? Let me know if I'm mispronouncing it, but, how was your stream? You won't be at Off-Kai this year? Oh no! We'll miss you. I'll pour one out for you. Have you been before? Have you ever been before? Would you want to go? Would you want to go if the opportunity presented itself? Oh, Ahmad-sama! So currently I don't have like a Discord or anything set up because I only actually started streaming about a month ago. I didn't want to stretch myself too thin with different platforms. So for right now, you can find me on Twitch and YouTube when I go live. You can also find the archive videos mostly on my YouTube. And you can also find me on Blue Sky where I do like my my stream announcements and things like that. As well as Ko-fi. I have a Ko-fi account set up with a fund for my stream assets like custom emotes and things like that. That's all I have right now on the internet. I don't have a Discord or anything like that. So unfortunately, you do have to wait till my streams in order to get in contact with me. But maybe I will like create a Discord at some point, because it seems like my streams are gathering a community, and so, you know, since that's the case, it would be good to foster you guys, give you a classroom to come to even when I'm not streaming. We'll see. Pronunciation is correct. Yippee! You were working on your new website! So also TypeScript, svelte, nice, very, very good choice. It was a very productive stream. That's awesome! That's so cool! If you want to, feel free to drop the link to your website in the chat. I'll have my system admin take a look at it, since I'm currently not behind a VPN. But yeah, my system admin will take a look at it, and if it gets their approval, then I will definitely take a look at it. Did I build this model by code, or did I design it as well? So my current VTuber model is actually through what's the free software, VTube Studio, I think is what it's called. Yeah, so I'm a VTube Studio model, free to play. I know that VRoid Studio, not VTube Studio, VRoid Studio. I know that VRoid Studio gets a bit of a bad reputation because it is kind of basic. A lot of the avatars look a little bit basic. I admittedly look a little bit basic, but you know, since I'm so new to VTubing, I wanted to make sure to start out with something simple, something cheap. So yeah, that's what I am currently on. Oh, thank you so much! Yay! I'm glad you like it! Penbu has not been to Off-Kai. Oh my gosh, my chat moved too quickly. I gotta pull up. One second. Let me pull up the chat. Have Penbu not been to Off-Kai yet? You're in Canada, but you do want to go someday. Maybe when certain circumstances are over, Penbu-sama, I completely understand. You do not need to elaborate further. Cannot blame you. Definitely cannot blame you. I hope that circumstances improve and that you're able to come someday. Actually, in the Maid Cafe, we've had people coming from Canada to work with us before, which was really, really cool. I'm not sure. I think they're gonna be here this year, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, definitely love my Canadian Maid Cafe brothers and sisters. So yeah, I hope you can come someday too. That would be really cool. In the meantime, I hope that you get to live vicariously through everyone posting about it. Cool! Oh my gosh, your website, Svelte Branch, is here. Very, very cool. Oh, on GitHub. The version that's deployed is written in Zola. and host it on GitHub pages. I love GitHub pages. I think it's so cool. That's really cool. I'll ask my system admin if I can open it. Okay, they said I can open it. Let me open it. Let me, go to my chat. I said go to my chat. I said let me go to my chat. She's loading. I think my internet connection's a little bit slow sometimes. What happened? What happened to your styling? Very cool, very cool. Deployments to GitHub pages. Let's see, let's see. Very cool, very cool. Programming, puzzle gaming, music making, VTuber on Linux. That's so cool. Wait, Pembu, if you're on Linux, what distro are you streaming from? I was just getting some flack for being an Ubuntu an Ubuntu user. That's very, very cool. Music, schedule. Use Arch. That's cool, you're the second Arch user that's come in here. Did you get hit by the vulnerabilities, like, last month or so? Ubuntu is fine if it works for you. Yeah, I know, I agree, I agree. I'm brand new to Linux, so I'm sure that I'll do some distro hopping before too long. That's so very cool. Oh, you're playing Mahjong! Wait, Pembu, I want to ask, because I know that, a streamer that I really like, KK Cyber, is, like, participating in a Mahjong, like a VTuber Mahjong tournament. Is this, like, the same one? Do you know, is this, like, the big Mahjong tournament that's been happening for VTubers very recently? Maybe I gotta ask her if this is the same one. Maybe you'll play against her, that would be so cool. Alright, I gotta go to, let's see, I gotta go to your Twitch and follow you. Yay! Following! Now I can raid you back someday. If the timing works out. K-Lovely Momo tournament, not in that one. Yeah, that's probably what I'm referring to. That sounds about right. Thank you so much for the follow! おかえりなさいませ、ご主人様. Wait, you're playing Mahjong and Tetris at the same time? What the heck? That is so cool! That is so cool. Wait, is signups already over for it? Because I know a VTuber who I feel like needs to join that collab. I feel like I know someone who needs to sign up for that immediately. Have I used N8N? Is that a programming language? N8N. Oh, AI workflow automation. No, I've never used this before. I have never used this before. Have you used it before? Do you like it? Okay, I've gotten so off track. I gotta lock in, chat. I gotta lock in. Oh, this one was not open invitation, but if it goes well, you can consider doing it again with new people. That's really cool. Well, I'll at least definitely pass along the stream info, because I think even without participating, she and her husband would be very interested in watching this for sure. You're running both games at the same time and have to manage both. I love that. Oh my god, that's so chaotic. That's so great. That's such a good idea. Oh my gosh. No way. No way. All right. I finished it. I pressed play and then I forgot. Let's see if we submit it, if it's going to work well. Chess boxing. Huge chess boxing energy, seriously. Alright, Go Shujin sama, let's review this implementation before we move on to the Totoro Slayer implementation. So for those of you who have just joined us, we are going through some LeetCode exercises under Array 101, so all about arrays. This is on the section of in-place operations. So given an array, we want to replace every element in that array with the greatest element among the elements to its right. So basically every element of the array should be updated in place with the greatest element that comes after it in the array. And the very first naive implementation was O of n squared, because we were just going through basically a nested for loops, going through each element and then every time looping through and finding the greatest element next to it. That's fine, but it's a little bit slow with O of n time. I tried to make it a little bit better with this sorting situation, basically putting all of the all of the elements of the array into this index records, which was then keeping track of both the value and the original index. That then got sorted. I think JavaScript uses quicksort, which is O of n log n. So this was O of n time, this is O of n log n time, and then looping through each element, and first we shift the index records over until we are at the correct index, and then updating in place with the leftmost, the very first value in index records, which is now going to be the biggest value that comes after the current index. So that's what we did for this. I believe that is O of n log n time, but it is cheating a little bit because while we are updating the array in place, we are creating this like second data structure over here, which is taking up some extra memory. So I bet we can make this even better with Totoro Slayer's recommendation of going backwards. I think that by doing this, we might even be able to do this in O of n time. I know I say that every time. Let's see. So Totoro Slayer was recommending that we go backwards, and while I get started, Totoro Slayer, if you're still on, if you would like to write up a little explanation of why you thought of this solution, I'll go ahead and get started. I do think this is going to work, though. S-Visions-sama agrees this is going to be O of n. Woohoo! I love O of n solutions. Alright, so we are going to make a new function. Ooh, JavaScript sort is implementation dependent. I see. Well, I know that there's a lot of different O of n log n sorting algorithms, so I feel like it's still a pretty safe bet that even no matter what version you're using, it should still be O of n log n, most likely. Yeah. Oh my gosh, wait, Ahmad, you found me with your N8N automation and playwright. What are you doing? Are you automating your VTuber search? How did that work out? That's crazy. Okay, so let's create our new function. Replace elements, array of numbers, returns an array of numbers. Okay, and we are gonna go backwards. So for let I equal to array.length -1. We're gonna go I greater than or equal to 0, I minus minus. So we are going backwards. We're going backwards, and let's see. So, we actually want to start at, well, yeah, that's fine. Let's see. Let's see. Let local max equal -1? Maybe just let local max equal... I don't want to start with -1. Alright, let's start by doing local max equals array at array.length -1. Local max is going to start with the very last element of the array. This feels like it needs backtracking, so potentially it can go O of n squared. Well, our very first implementation was O of n squared, but I think that by going backwards, I do agree that we're going to be able to get this to in O of n times. So that would be ideal. That would make me very happy, because I love when we can do that. So we're going to go backwards. We're starting by letting local max equal the very last element in the array, because when we're at length -2, that's going to be the only option. That's going to be automatically what gets put in there. If we need a special case, if I let's do, we'll let the local max be that, and then we'll set array at array.length -1 equal -1, and we're going to start at -2. Ooh, do I have, like, a command to show the current problem? I don't, but that's a great idea. That's a great idea. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I haven't shown this off yet, but I have a Scrum board. I have, like, a Scrum board. Where is, here it is. I'm gonna add it to my Scrum board to do that. Yeah, I made a project. I don't have anything in the project, but I use the GitHub project. And I use it to keep track of my stream improvements that I want to do. So I'm gonna add that because I love that idea. So let me go to the prioritize backlog. I can show you what I have in here right now. The iterations are pretty loose because I don't, you know, this is not my full-time job. So I think, oh, did we actually get to the end? When did I set this iteration for? Where do I forget how to find the due date for this current iteration. I either set it at the end of last month's sudden stand-up situation. Exactly. Welcome to Midori stand-up, everyone. We're gonna be going over our backlog right now. I can't remember where it shows you. I know I set like a due date for this iteration, and I don't know where it went. Anyways, the due date doesn't matter. I'm gonna go into the backlog. Yeah, some of the things that I have already done is, I fixed my VC face setup on Ubuntu. So for VC face, since I'm running it in Wine, I ended up needing to, run like a virtual camera because Wine can't see my camera output. And so I needed to run this other thing called OpenCFace, I think is what it's called, that basically pipes like the video output from my webcam in Ubuntu into Wine so that VCFace can see my camera movements. So I set up like a little script and plugged it into Lutris so that whenever I open VCFace, then it like automatically starts that up and I don't have to like do command line things every single time I need to stream. So I did that. While I was doing that, I did look into Lena, Hoshino Lena, formerly Asahi Lena. I think that she changed her last name because she got married. I think that's what happened. But yeah, Hoshino Lena has like her spout to Spout 2 something or other. She had like a Spout 2 project that she was working on to basically support transparency directly from OBS to VCFace in Wine. So I wanted to see if I could get that set up. And I kind of failed because I'm new to Linux and I'm not sure if she ever got it 100% working either. But yeah, I ended up just deciding to go with the chroma key for now. They've been doing, yeah, Hoshino Lena has been doing great stuff for VTubing on Linux, for sure. She is my Kami Oshi. I love her so much. Oh no, she changed her name because of falling out of the Asahi Linux community. That sucks! Wow, I can't believe that, like, anyone would be mean to, like, the best anime girl on the planet. How could they do that? I don't know what happened, but I'm, like, hardcore taking her side. No matter what happened. Even if she was clearly in the wrong, I would still take her side. Okay, well, I know she is getting... She did get married, though, I think. And I think that she and her wife are, like, starting a new, VTubing project. I saw... Wait, let me pull up on Blue Sky. I re-bleeded it. I re-bleeded it. Yeah, Yuri Hacker VTuber debut initializing in 10 days. Maybe it's 9 days now. But yeah, I don't 100% know, but it's called Tokyo Hacker Girls channel, and I am very excited for it. I am very, very excited for it. But yes, I was looking into that. I just decided to go the simple route with chroma key for now. I'm sure that someday I'll get back to trying to get the Spout 2 stuff to work. Set up my better mic. Hopefully you can hear that I am not speaking through a tin can. Add a stream schedule title card. I did do that. It's pretty, it's held together with bubblegum and, duct tape, but it is there. Let's see. Fix channel alerts. Oh, you know what? It's good that we're doing this stand-up because I did that. It is fixed. Unless that included... Oh, YouTube alerts need to play too. Okay, JK. This is in the backlog. I need to get YouTube alerts set up. Add Twitch chat to my videos and set it up so YouTube chats are there too. Yes, I did that. Yay! We are landing tickets, guys. You don't like this backlog grooming? What's wrong with it? What am I doing wrong? Sitki-sama! I need your approval. Let's see, what else? I wanted to get done in the next, like, month or so, a note widget so that I could, have, like, a little thing that displays so that I could have it on the screen when I'm currently doing. But I really like the idea of also having it be, like, a text prompt. Maybe, like, the on-screen could be a simple thing, and then the text command could be, like, a more in-depth thing. Let me add a comment. Great idea from... now I already forget which one of you recommended it. If you want to take credit for it, I'll put your name in here, but great idea from a viewer to have a text command to see more details about the current problem in the chat. Chat. How many story points for this? Ooh, I could pin the comment. Ooh, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. That's a good MVP version. I like it. 13 points for everything. I'm gonna make it 14 points just to piss everyone off. Siki-sama just had 6 hours of meetings today with 2 different stand-ups and a progress session alongside a retro. I do not need to see more. Ah! Oh my god, that's so sad. That's so sad. Goshujin-sama, I need to take a quick break. I need to stretch my leggies a little bit. I'm gonna throw up the loading spinner again while I am away, but I will be right back in just a couple of minutes. Thank you so much for your patience. Goshujin-sama, I will be right back. Alrighty, Goshujin-sama, I have returned. Ate my first calories of the day at 5 p.m. No good. No good. I hope they throw you a pizza party for that. That deserves at least 2 pizza parties. Alright, let's see. What else was on my scrum board? Art fund tip jars. Oh no, I didn't really figure this out, but I'm gonna deprioritize this actually. I wanted to make it so that y'all could, like, if you were to donate, that you could pick, like, what art project to donate to. Like, you could donate specifically to Twitch emotes, or specifically to, like, key art or overlays or something like that. But I don't think that's as important. I don't think that's as important. I'm going to remove it from the current iteration. Yeah, that'll just be in the backlog for now. That's fine. Set up a TypeScript development environment. Still need to do that. It's only half baked right now. Fix channel alerts. Yeah. What else do I have back here? What do I want to work on soon? Oh yeah, I have some of my stream ideas in here, so I guess we're kind of doing this. I had an idea to do Scrum with a VTuber, where we review this board, show my progress of prioritizing work. You all can share what you achieved this month, something that you want to do better next month. Yeah, since we're here, you guys want to tell me, like, one thing that you achieved recently and one of your goals for Like the next week or the next month? Something you want to get done? This is something I really want to do. Add some kind of whiteboard situation. You're banning Scrum or Agile ceremonies! Alright, heard. Understood. Don't want any more Agile ceremonies. I see how it is. Shot down. That's okay. I understand. To do ban Agile ceremonies. Alright, starting today, this is now a waterfall process stream. This is now waterfall. What does waterfall mean for streaming? Because it's called the stream? I guess that does work. A waterfall stream does work. Alright, what are we doing? So we set the local max to be the last element in the array. We set the last element to -1, and then we start looping through from the back, starting at the second from last element. And for every element, we want to set the local max, and then set the element. This is gonna be super easy, I think. I think going backwards, this becomes super easy. So first we want to set local max is math.max of local max and array at I. And then we set array at I equal to... Oh, hang on. Maybe new local max? Because we need the old local max. So we set array at I equals to local max const new local max. Array at I is equal to local max, and then local max is equal to new local max. I think this should just work. Because we're going from the back. We start by setting local max to the very last element in the array. We set the last element to -1, which is the default. Why const the local variable? Well, so in JavaScript, we can't just do this. New local max, because that's not defined anywhere. We have to define it as either like a let, a var, or a const. And because new local max is never getting mutated, it's better to just make it a const. It doesn't really make a big difference, but if you know that a variable isn't ever going to change its value, it's a good practice. Oh, I still have my loading spinner on. Forgot about that. It's a good practice to const anything that you know isn't going to be mutated. So like, local max we know is going to be mutated, but since new local max is just used very briefly, we can use that. Version 8 doesn't care about const in terms of optimizations. Oh, you know what? I think you're right. Are you right? I think I've gotten so used to my, like when I'm in VS Code and I have like my formatters and everything on, I'm so used to it yelling at me if I do that. But I think, like, now that I'm thinking really hard about it, back to like my like school days, I kind of remember actually that being true. I think you're right. Anyways, it's just a habit, force of habit, I suppose, to use const anywhere I can. School days mention. yeah. Alright, so we do that and then we loop through, and first we find out what the new local maximum is going to be by comparing the current value to the previous local max. We set the value to be the old local max and then update new local max. I think this should just work. Oh, wait, it's not going to work because I need to return the array. Return array. Now it should just work. Rashi? おかえりなさいませ、ご主人様! Welcome to the computer lab. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us today. Alright, let's see. Looks like I did it right. Let's submit and see if it works. GG everyone. Yay, accepted! Woohoo! Thank you so much for that suggestion, Totoro-sama. Going backwards was definitely the right move. O of n time. Wow. That's great, everyone. Let's see. I'm trying not to go too over, like I feel like 9:30. Let's see, how long have I been streaming for? I've been streaming for 2 hours. Maybe I'll do one more. One more. Famous last words. Let's do one more. Alright. Moving along to our next section. A better repeated deletion algorithm intro. Alright, let's look at one more example. This time the result array is smaller than the input array. How is this going to work? Let's find out. Well, we had something like that last week when we were searching, right? I think. Oh no, the week before it, for removing elements. Yeah, when we were removing elements, even though we were updating in place, the resulting array was smaller. And basically, well, in their examples, they're using Java. And in Java, you have to keep track yourself of how many boxes of the array have been filled, because Java sucks. You have to keep track of it yourself, because in Java, you actually, you like define the size of the array, and then it actually will, depending on like what type of array you instantiate, it will actually fill all of the elements with like some default value, like -1 or 0 or something like that. So Java doesn't necessarily have any way to know what index is your like last index that has something actually of value filled in. So what they did when we were doing deletion problems is basically you would have to keep track of what the final index of the array is, and then you would return basically what index to stop reading at. So when they removed things, they actually weren't concerned with deleting elements from the end of the array. You would just say stop reading after index k. And everything after that didn't matter because the grader would just stop reading after that point. So I bet they're gonna say something similar to that. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, 1 second, I gotta check our off-kai chat. Okay. Good, okay. Okay, so given a sorted array, remove the duplicates such that each element appears only once. Okay, so we have our array. In this case, we would delete the extra 1. So we got 1 and 2. In this case, we've got a whole bunch of duplicates and we dedupe them. You've hopefully already done this question back when we were looking at deleting items from an array. In that case, your algorithm might have looked something like this. So back then, removing duplicates. Actually, before we look at that, let's go back and see if, is my code still there? Yes, my code is still there. So what did we end up doing? The naive approach, we were looking while read is less than nums.length. Right, so we had read and write pointers, and we were starting at the beginning and basically incrementing our read and write counters based on whether we found a duplicate value. And then we did another version where, oh yeah, this was using the nums.filter, and then we had to go through, okay, ignore this. This is basically what we did. We had our read and write pointers, and we went through that way. So let's see what they say. Okay, so the solution that you might have had, remove duplicates. The initial length is simply the capacity. Length equals nums.length. Assume the last element is always unique, then for each element delete it if it is the same as the one after it. Use our deletion algorithm for deleting from any index. So for, oh, this is O of n squared time because there's the nested loops. In ours, we don't have nested loops because we had the 2 pointers. I think that our solution 2 weeks ago was O of n time. So that's good. But let's see what they say. So you go through starting at, okay, so they go from the end. So starting at int I is length -2, I minus, while we are greater than or equal to 0. If nums at I is the same as nums at I plus 1, then delete the element at index I and scooch everything over from there, from that point on. Okay, I think we probably started with this approach, actually. I think that I probably, like, this is definitely, like, the naive approach, the canonical naive approach. I'm sure that we did this first and then, you know, used the double pointers. Probably. This is actually an in-place algorithm because it doesn't require any extra space. The space complexity is O of 1. However, the time complexity, not so flash. The time complexity is not so flash. Interesting English there. At O of n squared time. This is because of the nested loop. We want to get the algorithm down to an O of n time complexity. If we don't try to do this in place, then it's straightforward. We could simply iterate through the array, adding all unique elements to the new array. Seeing as the input array is sorted, we can easily identify all unique elements as they are the first element and then any different element that is different to the one before it. One potential problem is that we don't know how long the result array needs to be. Remember how that must be decided when the array is created? The best solution for this problem is to do an initial pass, counting the number of unique elements. Then we can create the results array and do a second pass to add elements into it. Here's the code for that approach. Checking for edge cases, return nums if nums is null or there are no elements of nums. Count how many unique elements there are in the array. So we have our unique numbers counter, and then we iterate through each element and count. If we're at the first element, or if I is not equal to I minus 1, then we increment unique numbers. If it's not the same as the one that came before it. And then we create a new result array with the size of the unique numbers. And then we write the unique elements into the result array. We have our position in result is 0. Loop over all of nums once again. If I is 0 or nums at I does not, or the value does not equal the one that came before it, then we push it into the results array at the position in result, and then increment through that. So yeah, that is the lofty Java way of doing it. Totoro Slayer asks, you can't resize arrays after they're declared. I think in Java, you can't. I'm pretty sure that in Java you can't resize array after they're declared, which is why in this version, in this version they're creating a new result array, and that's why they have to count how many unique elements there are first, so that then they can create the array with that many spots and then loop over and fill in all of those spots. You can reallocate the array and copy. Yeah, by reallocating and copying, you mean like delete the... Like if you have an array of 3 elements and you want it to be 5 elements, you could delete the 3-element array from memory and then instantiate a new like 5-element array, like in the same like variable name or something like that. I bet you could do that. I'm not a Java expert. I don't know a lot about Java. I typically know as little as I can get away with about Java. Or just use ArrayList and let the standard library do it for you. Exactly. But where's the fun in that? Where is the fun in that? Hoo-hoo-sama, yes I am a software engineer. Thank you for noticing. I've been a software engineer for about 10 years now. Mainly doing like web development though, so for the last 10 years basically what I've been doing with my life is just showing and hiding divs. So, not super applicable to the algorithm problems we're doing here, but it's a fun way to teach myself to think outside the box a little more. The question's constraint of in place would be impossible. The input is an array for size n and the output is an array of size n minus x. Yes, exactly. That's kind of what they're getting to. They're getting to what to do about that. You can do it in linear time, going backwards. Well, if you're going backwards, you're not... That's... Oh, linear time. Sorry, not constant time. Linear time. Yes, linear time. O of n, right? O of n time. Linear time. Yes. You are correct. Haven't worked in Java in several years, very spoiled by JavaScript's flexibility. I know, I agree. Well, Java can be a lot more flexible than this. But if you're using, like, Computer Science 101 Java, yeah, it's a little rough. It's a little rough. Alright, did you notice the fatal flaw with this approach, though? This is not an in-place solution. I know, I'm like, what? Why are you guys talking about this? This seems a little off topic. Instead of modifying the input array directly, it creates a new one, which uses extra space. The question specifically asks for an in-place solution with O of 1 space complexity and O of n time complexity, meaning we must perform the deletions by shifting elements within the original array itself. Have a go at this for yourself, and then we'll talk about the solution. Your algorithm must be in place and take no more than O of n time. Good luck! Well, okay, well, we did this. We did this like 2 weeks ago. I have learned C++ so far. How can one become a software engineer? I mean, at first I was learning AI and machine learning, so spent most of the time there. But I heard I kind of need software engineering, so I'm trying to learn all that. Oh, welcome! Welcome to the field! It's always exciting to see somebody learning for the first time. You know, I can't, like, there's not just one way to learn software engineering or to become a software engineer. It all depends on, like, what you're trying to do. So, like, when you say you were learning AI and machine learning, like, that could mean a lot of things. Were you looking into, like, data science of, like, training models? Were you looking at, like, agentic workflows, like automating things using AI and machine learning? Were you, like, trying to learn how to code using, like, were you trying to become a vibe coder? and got stuck there. Like, what kind of stuff were you trying to do with AI and machine learning? Because depending on that, there's a lot of different ways that programming could help you. Okay, remove duplicates from sorted array. Given an integer array of numbers, sort it in non-decreasing order, remove the duplicates in place such that each unique element appears only once. The relative order of the elements should be kept the same. Consider the number of unique elements in nums to be k. After removing duplicates, return the number of unique elements k. So, to answer your question, Totoro Slayer, I believe you were the one asking how we can possibly do this without changing the size of the array. This k, basically k is like what we're using to count the number of elements in the answer, and we're not actually gonna like shorten the length of the array, but we just give it the answer array, we give it the resulting array, and we return k to be the number, basically the index of the solution that it should read up to. So if there's only 2 unique elements in the array, then we would probably return k equals 1. And that means that anything that is in the resulting array, because again, we're not returning an array, we're updating in place. So the grader is going to look at the array that we were given, and then basically read only up to index k. So anything after index k can be anything, and it'll pass, because the grader isn't going to look at that. How convenient! Yes. Yes, very convenient. I don't know if it's practical. I don't know if this is a skill that I would use as a programmer, but it sure is convenient for our LeetCode trick here. The most sane solution would still be using a set to remove duplicates. Yeah. Yeah, I think if I was going about this in my daily life, well, I just like reach for, as a TypeScript like wannabe as a TypeScript wannabe functional programmer, I would probably use filter, but if I didn't use filter, I would definitely be reaching for a set instead of that. Would filter work actually? How would I do this as a filter? No, I think you're right. I would probably just do it as a set. JK, JK. Just fill the spaces with min value or not a number. I mean, because the grader isn't reading it, we don't even have to change it. I think in our previous implementation, like 2 weeks ago, I'm pretty sure we just left the remainder indexes, we just left them alone. They just have their garbage still there. No garbage collectors for us. Set could still be used in a functional manner, definitely. Definitely. For sure, for sure. Okay, well, we did this already. They say, this judge will test your solution, if all assertions pass. Wait. Remove duplicates from sorted array. Is this literally the exact same problem? Remove duplicates from sorted array. Yes, this is the exact same problem. And if I look, is our solution already there? Yeah, our solution is already there. Without, like, with comments removed. That's interesting. But, well, anyways, does it run? Because this is O of N time. Yep, okay! We did it, chat! We did it! Go us! Well, that was the easiest LeetCode I've ever done. Well, because I didn't have to spend any time solving that, I may as well go ahead and explain this answer in a very clippable manner. So, you know, maybe I can explain this in less than 30 seconds and put it up on my YouTube shorts or something. So the problem that we're solving is removing all of the duplicates from a sorted array. The naive approach would be O of n squared time, where we basically do a nested for loop and go through every element for every element and find any duplicates. But we can do better. The way that we've solved this in O of n time involves using two separate pointers. So we have a read pointer and a write pointer. We go through as long as there are numbers that we haven't read yet. Basically, if the number does not equal to the one before it, that means it's a new number, so we're gonna replace the value at the right index with that current number, which we've decided is a unique number. Write that in the current write slot, increment the write pointer, and then either way, whether we wrote or not, we did read it, so we're going to increment the read counter. And then at the very end, write is going to be the basically the index that the grader is going to read up to. Well, in this case, oh yeah. So that's going to be the what the grader is going to read up to. And yeah, that is the O of n time solution using two pointers. So, Seki-sama has implemented it in Uiwa. That is exciting. Suspicion-sama didn't tell the interviewer at the start that you solved this question before. No hire! Exactly. What a flex to go into your interview and you can just be like, oh, I've solved this before. I feel like if I do enough of these problems, that's gonna happen to me someday. If any interviewer is ever foolish enough to interview a senior level engineer with LeetCode problems, I can just tell them, oh, I've done this before. I did this in a maid outfit. Did you do this in a maid outfit? What would the interview do if I told them, not only have I done this problem, I've done it in a maid outfit? If they didn't hire me on the spot, I don't know what they're looking for. Okay, so Uiwa, Seki-sama, let me, cause when you did the APL implementation before, you showed me, like, the help! the thing to run it. You gave me, like, a little thing to run it in. Is there something like that for Uiwa? Parser? Sandbox? Uiwa Sandbox? No longer available! Excuse me? Oh! Great. Okay, I see. Alright, so... oh boy, what do we got here? I'm gonna copy paste from the chat. Oh, thank you so much for the follow! Mark-sama, おかえりなさいませ, ご主人様. Welcome to the computer lab. We've just finished up a LeetCode problem where we were talking about removing duplicates from a sorted array. We just did it in O of n time. Actually, we did this 2 weeks ago, but I was just explaining the O of n time solution using two separate pointers. And Seki-sama has now posted a solution in the chat in the language Uiwa, which I will never know if I am pronouncing that correctly or not, but whenever I say Uiwa, it makes me think of caramel dancing. Uiwa. Oh, Uiwa. I've had supposed senior engineers fail a LeetCode-like problem before in interviews. It can still be a good filter. That's true. I will concede. But I also agree that a lot of LeetCode problems boil down to some kind of trick of the day. Oftentimes it's like to really get a super optimized problem, it's oftentimes just how many like LeetCode style problems have you done before. It's definitely something that you study for specifically. But if they couldn't even get to like a naive implementation, that could definitely be a sign. Yeah, definitely gotta choose the right problem for that in that case. Okay, so, let's see. This is the solution that Siki-sama has handed to us in Uiwa. Last week, he gave me an APL, or Apple, solution to one of the problems that we kind of took like 2 hours unpacking. So we'll see. This is my first time looking at Uiwa, so we'll see if it takes me another 2 hours to get through this. But I assume that in here where the dots are is where we put our array. So let's see if we want to dedupe 2, 3, like what happens if we do that? Alright, alright, alright. It seems to be working. It seems to be working. So let's try and look up some documentation. Oh, here we go. They've got a documentation link. Great. And we can, oh, it even like, okay, this is going to be easier to parse than the APL because they have like nice little helper text here. Pembu, you'll learn APL one of these days. It was pretty fun trying to unpack. I wouldn't say that I've learned APL now, but it was very fun trying to unpack that solution last week. Alright, so not equals compares for inequality. Stencil, call a function on windows of an array. Okay, I understand that. Call a function but keep its last argument after its outputs. Keep its last argument after its outputs. So if we were going by like windows, does that mean just that like at the end, if like 3 was the last input, then 3, like it's outcome, 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 3. Is that what that means? I don't know. We'll see. 1. Join, append to arrays end to end. Triangle, discard, or copy some rows of an array. Interesting. Alright, I'm definitely gonna have to open— oh my god, the transpose is in trans pride colors! That is so funny, I love that. Oh yeah, that's true, I can delete everything and gradually add things back in from the left to see how the stack gets modified. Gothslayer69, おかえりなさいませ, ご主人様. Welcome to the computer lab. Welcome, welcome. We are currently learning about Uiwa. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna read like some basic documentation. Language tour for a high-level overview. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do the language tour. This is— oh, still a lot of text, still a lot of text. Okay, okay, okay. Let's see. Uiwa is a tacit array-oriented programming language. An array-oriented language is one where the primary data structure is the array. In array languages, many operations that can apply to a single value can also apply to every value in an array. This is known as rank polymorphism. Ooh, big words, big words. Let's see, I wish there was an Uiwa to English compiler. That would be really fun to make, actually. That would be a fun project. Let's do it in Rust. Hi, Miss Midori. Do you think that with the arrival of IA to IT, I can still get a girlfriend? I don't know what IA is. IA to IT. IT being like, information technologies, right? I don't know what IA is. I don't know what IA is, but I think that if you believe that you can get a girlfriend, I believe you can do it. I believe. Let's do it in Rust. You know, I have a channel point. Oh, you're on YouTube. On Twitch, I have channel point redeems that if you watch a certain amount of time, then you can request me to solve a problem in a specific language. Rust is one that I've always wanted to learn, actually. Like, all of the programmers that I really look up to, do a lot of things in Rust. So I've always wanted to learn it, but I never have. I think they have Rust on here, though. Yeah, they do. They have Rust on LeetCode, so yeah, if anybody ever wants to channel point redeem and make me solve it in Rust, I will absolutely learn some Rust. I like your XP theme. Thank you so much, Go Shujin sama. Thank you. It's very nostalgic. Even though I am currently streaming on Linux, I can't avoid the nostalgia of Windows XP and Windows 2000. You wish LeetCode had Lua, Sag? I wonder how hard it would be to make like a browser plugin that extends the LeetCode, like, extends different languages to LeetCode. I wonder if that would be possible. You'd probably need it to be languages that compile to something that LeetCode does accept. That'd be interesting, though. Rust would be useful to know. For anyone in the chat who does Rust, though, I need to know, is it possible to do a greenfield project in Rust? Because I feel like I've only ever seen Rust rewrites. Okay, so Uiwa is array-oriented, rank polymorphism, big words. A tacit language is one where functions do not need to refer to their arguments by name. They have mechanisms for rearranging arguments to thread data through programs. That is enough introduction. Let's see some code. So when they say threading data through programs, is this like pipe, like the pipe operator style argument passing or something? You also use a 98 inspired overlay despite branding yourself as a Linux VTuber. That's so funny. I bet if you looked at the number of like how's it pronounced? Fruitiger arrow? If you looked at VTubers with like that aesthetic, or even streamers in general, I bet a lot of us are actually using Linux. Probably a majority. Okay, so +1 times 2, arrow 10. So we got plus adds a value, times multiplies values, up, range. Make an array of all natural numbers less than a number. Oh, I see. Right, you read it from right to left. So first we make an array of all natural numbers less than a number. So this is 1 through 10. Then we multiply it by 2. So it's like 2, 4, 6, 8, etc. And then we plus 1. Oh, because it starts at 0. Yeah, so we get 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay, that makes sense. Do y'all get it, chat? Do you understand? This is a pretty simple example. Still waiting for the VTuber who doesn't just embrace the aesthetics, but is actually working off an XP machine. I think it's a hard G, Frutiger. Is it Frutiger or Frutiger? Probably Frutiger, right? Frutiger arrow? That works. Gothslayer69 is wondering if I'm working somewhere. Of course I'm working somewhere. I'm working at the mansion. I'm the head maid of the mansion, teaching the young Bochan about programming. You installed XP on a T60? Is a T60 a... Oh, ThinkPad T60. When you said T60, it made it sound like a calculator. Alright, Uiwa code runs from right to left, top to bottom. Operators are put to the left of their arguments, rather than in between. This program makes an array of all the numbers less than 10, multiplies each by 2, and then adds 1 to each. If you want to see how that works step by step, try clicking the arrows beside the run button. Oh, I see. They build it up. That's pretty cool. Now I can only hear you asking, wait, what is that funny arrow? How am I supposed to type the multiplication sign? Unlike some other array languages, Uiwa does not require a special keyboard configuration or an editor with custom key bindings. Instead, you can type either the ASCII symbol or the name of a built-in function. Then the Uiwa formatter will convert it to the correct Unicode glyph. Oh, that's convenient. I like that. The mouse pointer! Yes! My little mouse pointer hair clip. I have matching hair clips with the NecoWeb mascot as well. In this case, the ASCII symbol for multiplication is star, and the name of the funny arrow is range. Okay, okay. Nice, nice, nice. You don't even have to type the whole name of a built-in function, just enough to disambiguate it from the others. So, ran is range. Nice, 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 nice. If you're ever not sure what a glyph is called, you can hover over it to see its name. You can click any glyph in the editor to see its documentation. Click the down arrow on the right of an editor to see a list of all the built-in functions. Okay, okay, okay. Arguments. Uiwa programs are about building up and transforming a list of arguments. A number literal in Uiwa code makes the first argument to the next function that is called, pushing the right to the right all current arguments. Okay. Plus. 5, 7, 2, plus. 5, 7, 2, plus. Got it. Okay, so the plus operator pluses the two things next to it. So 2 and 7. 2 plus 7 is 9. And then because 5 is like outside of the range, I guess, of that operation, then 5 is just over there on its lonesome. Understood, understood. On the website's editor, values that are generated on the same line appear in the same line in the output. Okay, so 10, 11, 10, 11, character, plus 1, 2 is 3, hello world, and you can also comment. That's awesome. That's awesome, awesome. Is your hair green in IRL? Well, not typically, but I do IRL maid cafes sometimes. So I will be at Offkai Expo this weekend. And if you happen to be at Offkai Expo, if you got tickets for the maid cafe, you can go ask for the green one. And I will have green hair in the maid cafe, so definitely ask for the green one if you go. I wanna bug my boss by having too many people coming asking for the green one. Okay, if you like, you can build up a big list of arguments and then operate on all of them at once. This works because Uiwa functions always take the same number of arguments. Okay, so add values, multiply values. Okay, so multiply plus plus. So we're the plus operator would probably do 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, which is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then add, multiply. 4, 3, 2, 1. Add. Oh, goes in. I see. Add doesn't add everything together, it adds them in groups of 2. So 3. Oh, JK. It just says the 2 next to it. Okay. So, plus 1 and 2, 3 and 4. RPM. Wait, what does RPM mean again? Reverse Polish notation! Oh, man! This is bringing me back. Wow. Yep. Reverse Polish notation. Wait, isn't it reverse Polish notation since the operator is on the left side? This is just regular Polish notation. Yes. Okay, so yes. So we add, right, and then plus, we're adding 1 and 2, which is 3. Then we're adding 3 and 3, which is 6, and then a 4. So then the last thing, when we add multiplication, it's 6 times 4, which is 24. Okay. I'm getting it. Self makes a function take a single value as all its arguments. Self is one of the many modifiers in UIUA. Modifiers apply to one or more functions and change how they behave. Okay, so self multiply 3. So that would be 9. Yeah, 9. And then self plus 5. So it would be 5 plus 5, which is 10. All right. I understand. Do you understand? Do you get it? Do you get it, Go Shujin-sama? This isn't so bad. This could be a lot worse. It looks crazy, but it's not that crazy. For math functions where the order matters, like subtract and divide, what would normally be the second argument is instead the first. This is so you can think of fragments like -2 as a single unit. If you want them to work the other way, you can use the backwards modifier, which makes a function take its arguments in reverse order. Okay, so subtract 3, 10 is subtracting 10 from 3, because everything like goes from the right. So that would be 7, and then the reverse of that would be -7. This isn't too bad for me so far as someone who's programmed in Lisp likes. Well, I've never done like anything, I've never done Lisp or anything similar, but I do have my background in pure math. I did my undergraduate in pure math, so I feel like that's my formal math education is doing a lot of heavy lifting for me right now. By the way, since subtract, use, I see, because the minus sign is for subtraction, we use, what is that called? Tick mark? Forget what those are called. Tick mark for negative numbers. The formatter will turn it into a nice, upper, oh, they had this in Apple too, the upper minus or something like that. Backtick, yeah, these are backticks, and then this is like an upper minus, upper dash, up dash, something, high minus, yes, APL calls it high minus, yeah. The backtick will be converted into a high minus. Let's see, Mathematical Turtle wants to know what was my favorite in pure math. I really liked algebra. I really enjoyed algebra. It felt very intuitive to me. So rare to find another pure math major. I know, Grand Shark Sama, I think were you here like last week or the week before when we were talking about math stuff? Yeah, Mathematical Turtle, I really liked algebra. It really vibed with me. I felt like I could understand it, like all the theorems and everything like made a lot of intuitive sense to me. I felt like I could derive a lot of the basics that I was learning on my own. Versus like when I got to analysis, like real analysis and complex analysis, I was way in over my head. I didn't understand anything that was going on. And like I could follow like the proofs that were presented to us in class, like I could follow them, I could understand what was going on. But then when it came to like proving things myself, like I sat down to do the homework or the exam, I'd be like, what? Like I know that that's how they did it, but I don't know why. But yeah. What was your favorite math subject? Mathematical. You've been pushed off the screen, so I think it was Mathematical Turtle, right? You were good at analysis and graph theory. Oh my gosh. All right, you were good at some stuff that I was really struggling with back then. I'm curious curious then what you thought of algebra. Like, was it that you thought that analysis was really nice and easy and you struggled with algebra, or are you just better than me in every way? The Grand Shark says it was the reverse for you. Analysis was your strongest and algebra is what you struggled with. Oh, you found algebra very hard. That's so interesting. That is so interesting. I thought algebra was so much easier. Then again, I might have just had better teachers for algebra than for analysis classes, but I think it also just, like, naturally the way I thought about things. That'd be fun to make, like, a math personality test. To, like, see what area of mathematics you're, like, most suited to. You had to take linear algebra twice! Oh no! When I took linear algebra, I was taking it in community college, and I had really good teachers in community college, but I remember I took linear algebra from, like, a teacher that was, like, notoriously, like, a hard ass. Everyone was like, oh my gosh, anonymous user gifted 5 subs! Oh my gosh, thank you so much! Thank you so much for the gift subs! Wow, thank you so much! Wow! That's so exciting. Hype train! Wow! Thank you so much! Anonymous gifter! Yay! Sub for S-Vision Sama! Pachi 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 pachi! Yay! Exciting! Exciting stuff. Graph theory was one of the only real computer science classes you took. I should learn more graph theory. As someone who didn't do any math past school, does math background help you code in any way? That's a really interesting question. Yeah, because I did math in my undergrad, and I actually never went to grad school, so I did my undergrad in math, and then I immediately switched to programming. And I will say, like, the theorems, and, like, proofwriting and things like that obviously are not useful in my programming life, especially because I was specifically pure math. So I did a specialization in computing where I did take, like, 1 or 2 programming classes, but I didn't really do a lot of, like, I feel like if I did more applied math, then maybe it would be more applicable to programming, but doing pure math, like algebra, linear algebra, I mean, linear algebra has applications, but, like, basic linear algebra is not really applicable either. So I feel like I don't use, like, anything that I learned in school exactly, but I do think that learning math helped me a lot with my critical thinking and with my, like, logical thinking and things like that. So I think in an abstract way it did help. It's just, not in a literal way, if that makes sense. Pembu is Sama, you are completely correct. Nothing could possibly prepare you for the difficulty of centering divs. Extremely true. Discrete math is definitely useful for LeetCode. Yeah, any kind of, like, algorithm problems, if you did, like, discrete math, it would definitely help you a lot. But yes, thank you so much again for the gift subs. I really appreciate it. As always, after my stream, I'm gonna total up the amount that was donated in terms of subs and bits and everything, and I'll add it to my custom emotes fund. So yes, thanks to that, I think we have probably gotten a little bit closer to our goal of commissioning some custom emotes for the channel. Howling AF! Hello, welcome back! Ran into a few LeetCode problems. I needed induction in series and I flopped! Yeah! That sounds fun though. If you still have the problems, you should link it to us. I won't do it on stream tonight because I think I am getting close to my end time. Just because I have to leave a little bit earlier to get ready for Off-Kai tomorrow and this weekend, but yes. Yeah, would love to see what kind of inductions and series problems. Being discreet is definitely an important maid skill. I agree. I agree. You never want to say anything that would offend your Goshujin-sama. Yeah, I'm very hyped for Offkai Expo. I've been before. I've volunteered at their maid cafe for the past several years, but this is my first year going as a VTuber. Well, I'm not going as a VTuber. I'm not a guest. I'm obviously not a guest at Offkai as a VTuber, but it's my first time going with like a VTuber model. So, you know, one thing I need to do tonight before I go to sleep is I'm working on a Maid Midori midterm, which I'm gonna bring to Offkai and pass out to people. It's gonna have a couple of questions based on some of the conversations we've had here in the last month of streams. I think I'm gonna put on like the JS fuck nya that one of my Goshujin-sama brought to me last week. Basically just a bunch of open and close hard brackets, which for some reason compiles to nya. Probably gonna put that on there, asking them to, you know, predict what the output is going to be, and things like that. It's gonna just have a couple quick problems. I'll probably also post it on Blue Sky and a couple other places, so even if you're not going, you can still check it out. But if you've been coming to my streams, they should be pretty easy, because all of the answers are somewhere in my VODs. But yeah. Maximum of an alternating... Let's see. Ooh, I earned a hype chest. Open to see my reward. What is this? Twitch, what is this? I've never seen this before. Twitch is giving me a hype chest. What is in it? I'm gonna open it. I got an emote. Oh wow, emote. How do I share this? I unlocked an emote, guys. That's so exciting. I don't know whose emote that is, but I like it. Has Kono been in here? Possibly. I feel like there was someone with Kono in their name earlier. Yeah. Is Kono also a streamer? I've been a little busy, so the last like stream or two I haven't gotten a chance to go back and check like all the people who have been in my stream. But I definitely want to go through and like see who my viewers are and see who also streams, because I need more people to raid at the end of my streams. If you yourself are a streamer in here, feel free to post something down below about what you stream, when you stream, all that kind of thing. Oh, okay. Oh, Konosuba. Yeah. Konosuba has definitely been in here before. She's not a streamer, but she's always showing you her Uiwa solutions. Ooh, that's so cool! Oh, Howling AF, you also do LeetCode streams. That's so cool! I definitely gotta follow you. Let me see. I just followed you right now. I'll definitely be raiding into you at some point in the future if the stream times line up. You got outed. Very cool, very cool. All right, I need to wrap up soon, so I'm gonna get to this Uiwa and try and understand what's going on. So 1, 2, 2, 3. This is our array, and then not equals to compares for inequality. So is this? Let's see what happens if we do that. 1. Run. Missing argument 2. Okay. Let's just like run one after the other. Pembu, unfortunately, I think I generally finish before you do, so the likelihood of me raiding into you is higher than the reverse, but you never know. You never know! I mean, I think my Thursday streams are supposed to start at 6 p.m, but then throughout the week, if I have extra time, which I haven't the last 2 weeks because of Offkai, but on normal weeks, if I have extra time throughout the week, I will typically do extra streams, so you never know, you never know. Definitely keep that in mind. Yeah, I've been trying to get into the habit of doing some off-time streams, doing like productivity, like Pomodoro timer streams and things like that, or even just like random, you know, HTML streams or something like that. I like to try and do some extra things throughout the week, which would tend to be more in the afternoon, I think. Okay, so let's try and understand what's going on here. So I can make a, yeah. Okay, let's copy and paste this down. If we run it, okay, so the triangle, discard or copy some rows of an array. Actually, we can just leave that one, right? Because it'll do both. Okay, so 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 1, 0, 1. Okay. Append two arrays end to end. 1, 1, 0, 1. Still not totally seeing what's going on here. Oh, I get the solution. It generates a second array, fills it with booleans, and then filters the input. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. My only question is, like, what part is doing what? 1, 0, 1. 1, 0, 1. Oh, I see. I see. Okay, so calls a function on windows of an array. So we could do, like, plus here, right? And it would do, like, yeah, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So instead of plus, we're doing not equals. Got it. So we get 1 does not equal 2. So that's 1. 2 equals 2, so it's 0. 2 does not equal 3, so it's 1. And then call a function but keep its last argument. So if we add that, then... Oh, so that's just keeping both around. Okay, okay, okay. And then... Yeah, we went over Windows with APL last week. We definitely did. We definitely did. Okay, so... append two arrays end to end. Because adding a 1 there is just gonna add a 1 next to both of those, and then append. So we're putting a 1 in because the first element is definitely unique. So we are appending a 1 to the end, and then discard or copy some rows of an array. So this is throwing away anything where this is 0, I guess. I want to see more about this keep. Keep! Triangle. Keep. Discard a copy or discard or copy some rows of an array. Takes two arrays. The first array is the number of copies to keep of each row. Oh, I see. Interesting. Okay, great. Okay, yeah. I get it. I understand. I understand. Let me, like, write this out in steps so that hopefully anybody who is not fluent in Uiwa can see what's going on. Put this all out in steps. Great. Okay, so, first of all, what is this called? Stencil? Stencil not equals? So stencil, does stencil always go in groups of 2? Could you make it go in groups of 3? Call a function on windows of an array. The first argument is the window size. The second argument is the array. Oh, okay, so we could do, I'm guessing that it just defaults to 2. Like, I'm guessing that this would do the same thing. No. Maybe like plus. Would that do something? Yes. Okay, so plus. Oh, what? What is happening? That's not doing what I expected it to do. Stencil. Stencil identity. 2, 4. 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3. Do nothing with one value. 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3. Alright, let's double check. Array 2 does not equal spread operator array. Rasper, I don't understand. I don't understand. Let me like comment these out. Run. Okay, that's the identity. What about plus? 1, 2, 2, 3. I am so confused. One, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3. Oh, numeric subscript sets the window size. I see. I thought this was the window size. Oops. Plus. Okay, so this is defaults to a window size of 2, but we can do like subscript. How do I do subscript? How do I do subscripts? I want to do like subscript 3. I guess I can just copy this. It's Uiwa time! Yes! Yes it is! Sub 1. Okay, okay. I heard that you are a big Uiwa fan. Oops. Alright, that didn't work out how I thought it would. The function is monadic. Does that just mean that plus only takes 2 operators? What about if I do equals? Equals is also monadic, apparently. Okay, that's fine. That's, you know what, that's fine. But basically, this Stencil not equals is outputting whether or not these are not equal. So we get an array that looks like this as the output. And then just remove that. And then by there we go. Call a function but keep its last argument as its output. So just basically appending the last argument. Right, so this is the argument was this, so we get the output and then we get the argument next to it. And then we're appending 1 to the filtered array, and then we filter, we keep only the ones where there's a 1. Okay, that's cool. That's really cool. I definitely have to read more Uiwa documentation and get good at this. I definitely think if I ever do like Project Euler, this would be a really fun language to do it in. That's super cool. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Siki-sama, for giving me an Uiwa solution to dissect here. Yeah, very cool stuff. Alright, well, thank you so much, everyone. It is almost 10 o'clock, and I do have a lot of things to get ready for Offkai. I'm gonna go to chat mode for a little bit and let you know all the exciting things happening at Offkai Expo, before I sign off. So yes, I am going to be maiding at the Maid Cafe at Offkai Expo. So if you are going to be there, if you did get tickets for Offkai Expo, definitely go check out the Maid Cafe and ask for the green one. All of the tickets for Maid Cafe are currently sold out, but there is going to be some limited walk-in availability, depending on no-shows and things like that. So even if you didn't get Maid Cafe tickets, there is still a chance that you could potentially get in. Besides the Maid Cafe, I am also going to be passing out some Megane Midori midterms with some questions based on the conversation topics that we've been covering on my stream here the last couple of weeks. So even if you're not going to be at Offkai Expo, I will probably make those available to you all, and I'm still thinking about maybe like a small prize that I may have available for people who finish the exam. So I've got to put my thinking cap on for that. I kind of want to do something that I can mail out, but depending on how many people fill it out, I don't know how many things I can mail. So I might do like a digital reward and then maybe a raffle for some physical goods. But yeah, definitely keep your eye out for that. I will be back to my normal streaming schedule once I am back from Offkai. So look forward to a regular Thursday night stream next week, and I may also be popping in for some off-schedule little streams, maybe do some more Pomodoro co-working days, maybe work a little bit on some of my stream upgrades that I want to do, all that kind of fun stuff. Maybe I'll play that Sonic ROM hack that was sent to me tonight. We'll see. But yes, as always, thank you so much everybody for joining me. I hope that you keep learning. I hope that you look into Uiwa or APL or any other language that is interesting to you. And I will see you on Thursday next week. So with that being said, I will see you all off, send you off with a good night, and then find someone to raid. Actually, I'm gonna find who I'm gonna raid first, and I think Let me see who is streaming right now. I think one of my fellow maids may currently be streaming, in which case I'm probably gonna raid her. So let me take a look at Twitch, see who is currently streaming. Oh wow, a lot of people are streaming right now. Okay. Yeah, okay, so oh, and it's her birthday stream? Okay, we're definitely going to, what is knocking? I don't know what knocking is. Oh, knock to ask Hanami VT to collaborate. Okay, anyways, we're going to be, rating, Miss Hanami. She is not a programmer, but she is a fellow maid. She is actually somebody who I work with in the real-life maid cafes that I'm a part of. So definitely we can go give her some love. It is her birthday today, I think. I didn't have it on my calendar, but it says it's her birthday. So let me start the raid going. When do I normally stream? Yes, my normal streams are every Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. That's when I will normally be streaming, outside of weird convention hours. Hanami VT, she is streaming Tomodachi Life. Ooh, that sounds so fun. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and, get the raid going. Definitely join in on that. Let's give her a big welcome. This is like my third time raiding, and I always get scared. I never know how it goes. But yes, I am going to let a few more of you join that raid. Looks like we've already got 20 of us in there. That's like almost all of us. Awesome. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end my stream and send us all over to Hanami. Thank you again so much, everybody, for joining me. I will see you all next week, and yeah, take care. I will do an official ending greeting now. So, いってらっしゃいませ, ご主人様. Thank you so much for coming, and let's go say hi to Hanami. Thank you everyone.